Oh gosh, hello everybody. Um, I am Lonnie or Looney Shaws, and apparently I'm your host for the evening. That feels really weird to say. Just before we start, we have a few announcements. Um, tonight we will be tonight and all this week we are raising money to support the Trevor Project, which is the world's largest LGBTQ youth suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization. We want to make sure that every LGBTQ young person knows that they are not alone. This is very important to everyone at the Lost Caravan, so we hope you'll consider making donation to help support an amazing cause. Every $10 donated adds your name to a drawing at the end of the stream, where we'll be giving away a bunch of cool prizes, like the Call of Cthulhu starter PDF, Wizard Punks, a physical copy, Monster Care Squad PDF, which we actually played last month, I believe. Really fun, would recommend. And we're also giving away another free 1 year subscription to Legend Keeper. So make sure you donate if you're able to. We don't want anyone to be put out, but we want to support a great cause. So if you are able to, and you might even get a chance to win something cool. Also, friendly reminder that Exalted Funeral is matching everything we donate. So if we donate what we're at, like 1,800 right now, double it. Already like just going to such a great cause. So yeah,
1,800 already?
I think so.
No,
Unless I'm blind. I'm
it's
looking at my
1180.
phone. 1180. I was looking at
Close
my
enough.
phone. I saw the 8 and the 1 anyway. 1100.
Inspirational.
Still fantastic. Let's get it to 1800 tonight, guys.
Yeah, that's our goal for tonight.
All right. Well, anyway, right now what I want to do is I want to let the players introduce themselves. I'm not going to have them introduce their players just yet because that's going to be our first scene once we get started anyway. But everybody will have you go around and say who you are, where we can find you, what stuff you're in. Oh, also, one more thing that I forgot to mention. The last game of the event is tomorrow. Hooper is DMing Nova, which looks really cool. The character art looks amazing. I think Turk is in it, right? So, yeah. Very cool. Very excited. Check it out. And then I think we're gonna start with Dido. If you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Dido. You can find me on the Twitters at Dido11. You can find me in the Discord on Lost Caravan. And usually I'm in chat, just, causing chaos. I think this is my last game for the month, but I don't have my schedule in front of me. But yeah, that's me.
Taylor, if you want to go next.
Yes. Sorry, I was trying to unmute and then something kept popping up in front of the unmute button. Hi, I am Taylor or at _potato_ mostly on Twitter. All the different socials have different requirements for usernames, but you can find me. I don't know what else I have going this month either. It's nearly done, y'all. But you can usually find me over on High Shelf Collective, where I think this Sunday is like one of the last few episodes of our Midway Madness that Lonnie is on. Or I guess she's above me in the overlay view. And then we also have some Cyberpunk going, some Red Markets, all those good fun things. You can also find me over on 2000 Tales, where on Tuesday we play Big Gay Dice Game. Currently we are playing Masks as part of that. And then on Fridays is Monster of the Week, though that is on hiatus for a month. So I'm going to be running a 4-part Cyberpunk series over there that's set in the little tiny town in the middle of the Appalachia in Cyberpunk. So we're going to see what small town life
Cyberpunk
is like.
hillbillies, huh?
Uh-huh. So come hang out for that. But
That's got my wheels spinning.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
All right, and then next would be Turk.
I am Turk, or Turk extended in the places where those things matter to you and only you. You know who you are. I'm of course playing Buck, and I'm real excited. I'm really excited to go all the way into the danger zone and vibe it up in the '80s. I love any chance I get to break out the the jock jacket.
We could give you another opportunity to do that. And then finally, Jason.
First, I'm gonna forever now call it a jocket.
The jacket.
The jacket.
I'm Jason. I can be found on Twitter at JJSYNN, JJSyn. The other socials I can be found in some version of graphical Ronin, usually graphical_Ronin. I'm a freelance graphic designer and illustrator. I pop up from time to time on various TTRPG streams. I've been on a few here on Lost Caravan in the last couple of months, which I've thoroughly enjoyed. I'm also on Brambleberry Games, where in February we're going to be starting like an every other week game where we play like a four-story arc in various systems. We don't have a title for it yet, but I suggested on D&D because it's anything but. Also too, I have a Monster of the Week that should be picking up on Wednesdays over there in February, hopefully, because I missed that one. Other than that, I'm just poking around the internet, making crap posts on Twitter usually.
All right. And then, like I said earlier, I am Lonnie or Looney Shaws. I am DMing for my first time tonight, so be patient with me if I stumble over my words or talk a little too much. I'm a little nervous, but I am really excited to be working with this cast. Everyone does incredible things, and I've had the chance to play with everyone at least once, and they're all fantastic. So support everyone you see, and I'll let them tell their stories. For everyone who hasn't heard of Tales from the Loop, or if you have and you just need a refresher, Tales from the Loop basically takes place in the 80s that never was, which is basically the 80s as how you've seen it in the movies, or if you lived through it, which I didn't. I'm a little bit of a phony in that case, but it's fine. I've seen enough media and I've love old rock and everything, so I'll give it my best shot. But basically it is the 80s that we all know and love, except for one very important scientific advancement that changed the course of technology for that time period, which is the particle accelerator known as the loop. There are basically these two huge particle accelerator towers standing up right in this cozy little residential town in Boulder City, Nevada. There's also another one out in Sweden, which Sweden was, according to the book, Sweden was the first one to get it up and running, but, thanks to the US, apparently, is what they say. But so because of this new tech, everything is a little bit more strange and fantastic than just there's a lot more technology around. You're still going to school. You still have to deal with parents and curfews and homework and, maybe a bully or two here and there, depending. But there's also these robots that are doing random jobs that you would be used to seeing people still be doing in the 80s, like lunch lady cafeterias or lunch ladies in the cafeteria, not but anyway. And scrappers, and then there's also these things called magnetrine ships that you might see just on a given day. So some people might assume that they're going to see buses driving by. In the loop, you see these ships that don't have a single wheel touching the ground because they use the magnetic force of the earth to be able to be off the ground, probably above your heads, just flying by.
No, those are actually aliens.
Definitely aliens.
You're both really weird, and I just want to make sure you both know that. It's important for social stuff later on.
Well, however you like to decipher what's going on in the world, we're going to start our story in a regular, generic, junior high cafeteria, we're gonna say, just because we have characters between the ages of 10 and 15, so wanted to make sure everyone's in the same school for the story-wise. So basically we're going to start in a cafeteria in a junior high, and it looks, for the most part, pretty similar to how you'd remember a school cafeteria when you were in grade school. There's a bunch of long tables that have those like benches that are kind of just attached. It's all just one unit. And there's like a big calendar that says what the meal of the day is. Today is that, you know, those single serve little pizzas they used to give you. And you can obviously choose your sides and everything like that. The only two differences that will really kind of make people be like, wait, what? Is one thing is this mural that is painted on the wall. It's one of those things where like one of like the past grades helped create it one year. Like they just had some extra time to kind of, you know, do little Q-tip dots of a mural of a classroom of students learning about dinosaurs, which doesn't seem very strange, except for the fact that in this situation, in this mural, you see live dinosaurs coming out of the books that the kids are reading, which is just something that, you know, we don't know if this actually happened in a science class along the way, or if this is just an idealistic view of what the loop can do in the future. But it has a little inscription on the bottom that just says, by the class of 1977. And it's just something you've grown accustomed to. You haven't seen a lot, like you haven't really paid much attention to, but you know, it's interesting. It's not typical 80s. And the other difference is, the lunch ladies aren't there. Instead, there are robots in the places of the lunch ladies. There's still one chef, like this kind of angry man just kind of chilling in the back, who still cooks all the food. So everything is still handmade. Everything is still fresh to eat if you want it. But basically you go down the line and the robots just respond to yes or no. So they'll ask you, do you want pizza? They'll ask you, do you want milk, chocolate milk, whatever. And you just say yes or no. And they will put it on your plate if you want it and not if you say no. Other than that, I want to start the game off by letting everyone kind of give a little bit of a synopsis of what does your character do during a typical day at lunch. I have been told that all of you sit together for the most part. Maybe every once in a while Buck will be sitting with his lacrosse team, depending on the day. But, you know, what are you eating? Are you eating the lunch food, the cafeteria food? Did you bring a lunch? Kind of describe what you look like, how, like, what you're doing during lunch, and give us a little, kind of set the scene for us. So we'll start in reverse order this time. Jason.
A bus first thing, huh? Okay.
Had to do it to you eventually.
Joe is unusually tall for a 14-year-old. She has excessively long brown hair that is a little on the unkempt side. She tends to wear very baggy clothing, generally a black t-shirt of some sort with jeans and work boots. She thinks mostly about playing music because she is a rocker. She can't have her little robot friend Kit with her at the lunch class, but she's got him safely stored away somewhere on the premises. As she goes through the lunch line, she gives her yes or no answers in a very disaffected, almost insulted way. Chocolate. Yes. Thank you. And grabs her tray and walks off towards the table. A table. She hasn't decided which one is going to have to be yet.
Oh, that's right. I should have started with Isabella so Isabella could make the fateful choice for the day.
Joe's default is the farthest away from everyone else, so she picked the one in the back corner until she sees her cue.
All right. Well, I guess then we will go to Isabella, who I believe usually is the one who, whether she knows it or not, is kind of sounds like the one who chooses the lunch table every day.
Sounds like it. So Isabel is, I guess average height for a 13-year-old. Messy, curly, brownish blonde hair. a light shirt and a blue overall dress. She's got this large over-the-shoulder satchel bag that's just overflowing with books and papers, and she just walks into the lunch area, just whatever book she's reading that day, walks into half a dozen tables, not paying attention. She never runs into people. They seem to like part for her. And she just randomly sits down.
When
Pulls
Joe
out-
sees which table she's picked, that's when Joe stands up and starts heading in that direction.
All right. So the table has been chosen. Isabel, did you bring a lunch? Do you eat it
Isabel
all, or
has-
are you just so focused
Isabel
on your
has
book?
She usually spends most of her lunch period either doing homework or reading a book. She does bring a sack lunch, but by lunchtime, Chip has already eaten most of it. So she just picks at the remains. Chip is her little chihuahua that she keeps in her backpack. She's got her books in such a way that there's room for him in there.
Perfect. And one thing I forgot to mention about the adults from the loop is a lot of them are out of touch, might even be the reason for a lot of the problems that somebody might be facing in a typical day if there's a failed science experiment or something like that. So teachers don't even notice Chip. If they do notice him, they'll probably just kind of, roll their eyes and feel like kids are so rambunctious these days and not really do anything about it. They just want to get in, get out, get the paycheck. So, Chip, is just with you in classes and wherever you go. After Isabel, I'll go to Taylor or Crystal, because our other pet-wielding friend.
Yes. Which my actor left me, so we don't get grumpy biscuit stares in place of grumpy rat stares. But yeah, so Crystal is very young of the crew, 10 whole years old. And she is the weirdo playbook. So she is very much decked out in any sort of colors and patterns that she finds interesting at any given point in time. Her hair is just this wild, just mess of like super curly black hair that is just like unkempt. She lives at home with her grandmother, who probably tries, but at this point, I'm a young rambunctious child with a lot of hair. There's only so much you can do. And I think probably also bringing her own lunch. She has an older brother, but he's like out of school, like much, 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 much older. And so I think, living with grandma, she still kind of dotes on me. So has like little chilies and little salads and little things. I feel like she's very much has a garden cooking kind of person. Yes, I have a very adorable, tiny, for a rat, we'll say like the runt of a litter rat. We're not talking like New York subway or anything, but not a mouse in between that. She's got just like a little like over the shoulder kind of slouchy bag that he'll just like hang out in. His name is of course Nicodemus. And I think it's one of those things that takes a bite of her sandwich, he gets a bite of her sandwich, takes a bite of her sandwich, he gets a bite of her sandwich as they're just walking through. But she doesn't walk down the aisles of the cafeteria. She's like scurrying under tables because she is like, 4'2", can just get in anywhere kind of vibe. So I think she just kind of scurries under the tables and out of sight, kind of like picking up random shit people drop too. I feel like she has just a collection of like broken bracelets and random things she's just found on the floor. And will then, whenever recognizing Joe and Isabel's shoes, will stop under that table and then just sit down. Does like a little bang on the bottom of it, but that's it.
When Joe hears the bang, Joe takes a pineapple slice off of her tray and holds it under the table.
Just like super quick. Just was it her or was it the mouse? I don't know.
Was it an earthquake? Are the aliens back?
They never left.
I think that the lunch ladies are just little aliens in those robot suits.
I've been trying to convince Buck of that. He won't listen to me.
I mean, it would make sense as to why the pizza's so awful.
You're just thinking of that poor little, the poor little chef. He's just like this grumpy little old man that's still cooking and just like doing this, you know, for the heart of the school. And you're just like, oh yeah, that's why the pizza's so bad. And
Like,
in the
your
background,
food's
he
never
knows
good.
that someone's
they
telling
hand
him.
him plastic and tomato sauce, and he makes food
Oh.
out of that. How dare you?
Yeah.
I feel like his name is Bart, but everyone calls him Barf.
Yes.
Yes, that's
Aw.
canon now. That reminds me of when I was in college and we had Chartwell's as our caterer, and everyone called it Chartwell's, so perfectly on brand.
Poor Bart probably went to the wrong bathroom and saw that carved in somewhere. And
Oh,
Chef Bart,
poor Bart.
my boy.
Okay, well, I guess that just leaves Turk or Buck, if you want to.
Yeah, it was oh cool. Yeah, no, I guess. So Buck's actually gonna go enter into the lunchroom with the rest of the lacrosse team and their coach, who's the gym teacher, of course. They're, you know, the team's pretty serious about their gym periods, and he always sets it up just before lunch so the team can have lunch together. It's a whole thing. For some reason, this town's really big into lacrosse because I want it to be. And looking up 80s lacrosse equipment, it's wild. It's a trip. But they all walk in. In this situation, though, poor Bart, Buck is usually wearing more like casual clothes. He is wearing his gym outfit, which is, of course, basically like midriff shirt in the school colors, short shorts, long high socks, and like, in other situations, this is definitely be a moment where there'd be like the, you know, oh my gosh, the pretty jock, but he's not that. He looked like he got hit in the face one too many times, and then was just born that way. He's got the military shave where it looks like he walked up to someone in a barracks and said, "Can you just take this off my head?" And they just ran a buzz cut over him until there was, you know, basically nothing left. Beyond that, he's got a strong jaw, and he walks in there with the rest of the team. They're all kind of jostling each other, and they'll go through the line with some efficiency. He, of course, loads up. He's hungry. That pizza is delicious. And, like, also, maybe he doesn't have as much food, so he's definitely carving up now. He sets that all out, and as he's about to go sit down at the table with the rest of the, sits down at the table with the rest of the guys for a moment before the coach is going to tell him to go sit over with his tutor, which, like, he's fine with, but I don't know. He's felt like all his teammates are so in sync recently, like, and he's like, clearly he missed out on something.
Well,
All right, so you eventually begrudgingly join the rest of the lunch crew.
Yeah, like the coach comes over, taps him on the shoulder with like that 2-knuckle thing, and just points. Gets pizza in his mouth. What's up, ladies?
Oh,
Hey,
fuck.
Buck.
just like peeking.
You're under there today, too. Cool. Aliens didn't get you?
No, we're friends.
Oh,
I'm
that's
surprised
good.
they didn't get you.
Oh no, like I'd probably beat him up, and he like has to cut the cheese with a finger eventually. I imagine it's some kind of industrial grade 80s cheese
Yes,
that it
so
could be used as
good.
adhesive.
It's graded government cheese.
Yeah. For the
Buck,
war
you're
that never
too-
happened. Yeah.
You're
what's
too
up?
good at what you do for the aliens to take you.
Yeah. But like, you know. Probably live too close to the airbase anyway. They won't even like dare do a flyby because otherwise we'd take them down.
Okay, well,
They want you to think.
as this discussion of aliens and as Buck is sitting down and as this discussion of aliens is kind of still going on, out of nowhere it seems, a little girl about the same age as Crystal, her name is Connie, just out of the blue just peeks right underneath the table and just basically the same way that Crystal popped right under the table, Connie follows suit and just sits down right in front of you, acts like she didn't just, have to scurry past people's legs that she didn't really know that well, and just plops right in front of you. And she has a little box of nerds in her hands, and like before she even says anything, she's already kind of like gesturing, like kind of like, want some? And then she's like just absentmindedly pouring, and she's like, okay, she's gonna lose track of how quickly she's pouring because she's just so excited about what she has to
I'm, like,
tell you.
catching with my shirt. Oh, crap.
So she's like, okay, sorry, I know you're eating lunch. Really fast, just wanted to tell you something that I just heard that like super weird, and I think you'd really, really love it. So like I had to tell you the second I heard it. And again,
Okay.
still pouring. At this point, it's gonna be empty by the time she's done talking.
Yeah, and trying to eat them really fast too.
But okay, so I heard that there is this weird thing going on at the Glidorama, and like it just sounded right up your speed, like some weird like alien, who knows, something. But so like apparently something is happening with the roller skates there, and like they're making them go so much faster than like most people are used to. Like, a lot of people know what they're getting into. They know they're gonna fall a little bit, but like for some reason the roller skates at Glidorama are just like going so fast that people are just like falling on their faces. I don't even know what's happening. And like I've heard multiple stories. It's not even just like one pair of skates that are just wonky or something. Like apparently there was a kid who fell. There was like this like 40-year-old like dad dude that was like trying to just go begrudgingly with his kids and just kind of like plopped on his face. Really funny. I have no idea what it means though, but I figured you'd want to know.
It's the skates?
I guess so. It sucks though because my mom always like, I have my own pair of skates, which like usually is really cool, but like in this situation, like I don't know. I want to try out the skates. I want to try to get a pair, but my mom would probably never pay for them. But I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you. That does sound fun. I don't have skates. I don't know how to skate, but that's okay. I can learn.
And then almost as quickly as she showed up, unless you have questions.
No, I'm
okay.
just like, and like as she's talking to you, I've turned the nerds box back and I'm just pouring some back in because I'm just like, this is too many nerds.
I agree.
So as she's kind of just saying like, oh, I just wanted to let you know, she kind of like ducks a few like kind of back into her hand, just like plops them in her, like just face palms them into her mouth, and then as
The only
quickly
way
as
to
she
eat nerds.
came, exactly, yeah.
You always pour more than you think you're gonna eat because they're
Yeah.
going to.
That's what she
Yeah.
was doing for Crystal. She was pouring as many as she could, just probably more than Crystal was ready for. I don't know. And then she just is out of there as quickly as she came.
Oh man. And what was her name again?
Connie.
Connie.
Her real name is Constance, but she's not gonna
Yeah, that's an old lady name.
Yeah. She will always, you probably have seen her plenty of times before, and she always just like, if anyone calls her Constance, even the teacher, she's like, it's Connie.
Yeah.
And this might be a little bit modeled after me because I always have to tell people my name is Lonnie. But anyway.
Nonsense.
Constance, yes, you caught me. My real name is Constance. But yeah, so Connie just disappears, Do you want to share with the group, or is that something that you're just kind of like?
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely eat all of the nerds before I pop up. The whatever is just left, like picking them out of my pockets and such. But then I'll actually hop up onto one of the like benches or chairs and just like, does anyone know how to skate? Like roller skate.
I've read about it. I don't.
You've never been to the skaterama?
I
know,
mean,
but
I've-
apparently
I've-
weird things are happening there.
I've been
Or
there.
like
Tammy
running.
goes there a lot.
We should go. Apparently the skates are going really, 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 really fast, and it might be aliens, but it might not be. I'm not gonna get my hopes up, but it could be.
Well, like how
Aliens
fast are we
in
talking?
skate.
Connie was
I was
probably
making
talking loud
sense,
enough for
Paul.
some of you to hear this already, but it's nice to
Yeah,
respect
just-
like the different conversations happening.
Well, it's like a whole other world down there. You don't know how much it's
Yeah,
going to
it really
translate up. Gum stuck to the ceiling.
Like,
It's crazy.
yeah, I'm like picking gum out of my hair as I'm
Oh,
like having this
no.
conversation.
Belle was teaching Buck long division through that whole conversation.
So it's like division, but like longer?
Yeah, you see this number? It's a remainder, so it goes under, and you want to subtract it before you
See
divide
Joe's
the
eyes
next
under
number.
her hair, but they roll when he asks that question.
Okay, so like this one's cutting to crease, but then this one dives around. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
the
if you
skates are so fast. I don't think we're. Am I the only one that thinks that's cool?
I mean, I would like to know why they're going fast.
I could use an excuse to go gliderama.
Super fast gate sounds pretty metal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
What
Connie,
if it's like
if-
some sort of
if-
robot
if-
thing?
If Joe's gonna go, I'm definitely gonna go.
Well, if Belle's going, I'll go.
And you'll both like
Yes,
make out
ma'am.
or something.
No. It's weird.
Hot. And Joe ducks behind her hair even more than normal.
All right, cool. So we'll meet at the gliderama after school.
Yeah.
Cool.
We
So
can.
while
I can.
these-
I can use it to teach you physics. It'll be awesome.
Okay.
so when you fall on your face, that's because of torque, and
Nah, it's 'cause
You know,
you suck.
Hey.
So as these final plans are getting kind of getting discussed, Isabel, you're gonna feel a little like just kind of tentative tap on your shoulder. And when you turn around, it's going to be your English teacher. He's one of the teachers that's on duty, kind of just like going up and down the aisles, making sure everyone's behaving themselves, keeping a special eye on the troublemakers and the jocks who like to try to, like, you know, sneak their sports equipment in and play catch or something in the middle of the cafeteria.
Paper
But
football.
yeah, Mr. Hudson is kind of just tapping on your shoulder really fast to grab your attention.
Hey, Mr. Hudson, how's it going?
Hey, Isabel. Good. Sorry to interrupt this conversation you're having. I heard Gliderama. That sounds really neat. I was looking through some books at the library earlier, and I saw this book that I think you'd like. So I figured I'd just, you know, I'm already here, so and he kind of is holding out this book on astronomy to you. And he would never like doggy ear a page or anything like that, so he kind of has his finger like just tucked into a specific page, and he'll open it, and he's gonna show you a page and say, so I read this really cool thing that, like, I mean, you kids don't get up that early, but like apparently on Sunday mornings, a lot of us, like, you know, all of us usually sleep in, but apparently a lot of people have missed this, but there's been this new discovery recently that apparently on Sunday mornings, like right when the sun is rising, for some reason there's like this cool thing where the sky looks like it's shattered. And
like a mirror shattered?
yeah, like a whole bunch of different pieces, and like it's weird. It almost looks
A
like
lot of
each
bad
piece
luck.
is a little bit of a different color, and almost like, for lack of better terms, almost a different vibe. Like it almost seems like you're like looking into a different universe or something. It's crazy.
If
I'm just like darting my eyes back at
if
everybody.
I
Like,
stay up late and I write a paper, could this be extra credit?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I figured you'd want to do it just for the pure knowledge, but I can work in a paper there for you somewhere if you want.
Well, you know, Cody is really close to my GPA, so this just might bump me just that little bit higher.
Yeah, I know. You two have been kind of just tag teaming, or not tag, oh my god, tag lining. What's the right word for that when you're just like kind of a little bit above and then we fall
Neck and
behind a little bit? Neck and neck.
Neck and neck.
Yeah, that's a lot better term than I was gonna. Anyway, you guys have been neck and neck for a while, so yeah, if you really want to do a bonus paper, I can give you some extra credit.
Perfect. My dad will let me stay out late if it's homework.
Well, just remember, looks like it's like Sunday mornings. It's kind of a weird time. It seems like a lot of us missed it because everyone kind of wants to sleep in on Sundays. So if you really want to do it, then yeah, free paper for you. And then he'll all of a sudden get distracted by one of the troublemakers kind of starting to get a little rowdy, and then he'll like kind of hold up a finger to you and just start like rushing in that direction, be like, hey, don't throw that pizza, and just kind of walk off, and you know he's not coming back.
Isabel whips around with
That's
the
all that
book.
pizza's good for.
You guys
It'll
want to
probably stick really well to someone's face, though.
You
All
guys
that
want to
weird
sneak
cheese.
out late on Saturday and stay up really late to see the sky shatter?
Absolute 100%.
nothing else in this world do I want to do more than that.
I like practice noon Sunday, but
Wake up early too if you wanted, instead of staying up
Just
all
think of it
night.
as extra training, Buck.
Yeah,
No,
you
I
can.
can I can
You have to
convince
do a
Mr.
first early
Hudson.
morning run.
I can
Sorry.
convince Mr. Hudson for this to be a group project, and you can get extra credit. It'll up your GPA, and you won't have to come to tutoring anymore.
that would be most excellent.
And you get to stay up late. You don't, and
Nah, just
I would say
GPA
we'll
is
have a
fine.
good time. But
GPA would be great. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Neat.
Saturday. Spend a whole week with you guys, girls.
you look
You look
confused.
very excited.
Yeah, real excited. No,
All
bro,
right.
this pizza's just real hard to chew.
Again, Barf just knows that someone's talking shit about his food in the back.
I love this pizza.
Thank you. No one ever says that.
Joe smacks one of the breadsticks on the side of the table, and it sounds like a judge's gavel.
Hey, if you get a second one, it could be like drums
Yeah.
Ooh,
for your
there you go.
band. Get a little
Yeah.
lunch band going. Okay, so if that's everything, does anyone else want to do anything during lunch? All right.
No, I think what Isabel's dog's name?
Chip.
Chip.
Mhm.
I think
Around,
you
like
know,
a
just
little
let
coffee
Chip
chip.
and Nicodemus have a little run around for a little bit, get their zoomies out.
Aw. Best friends.
It's really Nicodemus chasing Chip because Chip is a scaredy dog, afraid of everything.
And Nicodemus is a rat in every sense of the word. He's very rude.
They're dominant.
Yeah.
All right.
Joe's just
well,
eating all the cheese off the pizza. The rest of it is still sitting on her plate.
Oh, the cheese is the best part, probably, if cardboard is the base. So, but anyway, so lunch ends. You all go back to your classes. You finish off the day. You probably hear your science teacher make a joke about don't trust atoms, they make up everything, and like one kid will laugh. Just the
Isabel's
It's
the
Isabel.
one kid that laughs.
you know, for the most part, just typical, you get assigned homework, you have to do geometry or long division or
Joe
whatever.
will be doing none of that.
What?
Joe will be doing none of that.
There. But in between, like your last kind of 2 classes of the day, at one point, Joe, you are going to be approached, by, I have their name written out and I forgot it. You're going to be approached by a little boy who's probably 2 or 3 years younger than you. His name is Skeet. You've probably seen him around a few times. He kind of is like he's one of those kids that wants to be a rocker, but his parents wanted him, like, knew that he wanted to play the drums, so they're like, okay, you're doing drumline in the school band. So, like, he kind of has a little bit of that preppy side, but he's trying to be, like, the skater, like, the rocker.
With a strap.
Yeah. He's probably got, like, his little, like, marching band helmet, like, tucked under his arm, but he's wearing, like, a leather jacket and is trying to look moody. But you know that he's tried to talk to you a few times before about, like, joining a band and getting, like, all that sort of stuff. Like, for one reason or another, it hasn't panned out, maybe because he's just flaky and excitable, or maybe you just didn't want to, but he's approached you a few times. You kind of know he's generally very excited to talk to Joe. And he kind of approaches you again, and he looks a little, like, shy, but is also trying to seem edgy, but it's just like, oh gosh, hi. And he hands you a cassette tape. It's not like a mixtape or anything like that. It doesn't have, like, little hearts on it or anything, just like a cassette tape. And you can tell he has his Walkman kind of, like, hanging around his, like, the headphones hanging around his neck, and it's kind of clipped on his jeans. And he's like, hey, I'm sure you probably already have. I know this is probably gonna sound stupid, but have you ever had a song that, like, makes you feel like you're going to makes you feel like you're in a totally different place, or, like, takes you to a different world or something? Like, you probably have.
Yeah, I think we all do. Skeet, what's this?
Well,
Looks like a cassette.
so it's weird. I found this cassette, like, in my locker. I've never really, like, I don't remember putting it there. Maybe I did. I don't know. But I listened to it, and if you want, on track 3, like, you should check it out. I probably check it out, like, when you're, like, at home for the night or something like that, like, just alone, so you can, like, get in the zone for it. But, like, I don't know, something about track 3 just, like, made me feel like I was in another place. I don't know, but I wanted you to, gotta introduce you to cool new music too, right? Like, you've already showed me so many things.
Well, thank you. I'll give it a listen. I will.
Cool. Yeah, cool.
But-
Cool. Yeah.
But Joe is not comfortable with gifts, so Joe Russ pulls out another cassette. This is the cure. You should listen to all of it, all of the time.
And I didn't realize I was gonna be getting cool music too. Oh, this just turned into the best day. And he, like, walks off, and again, he kind of has, like, that, like, 1 minute he's kind of, like, got a spring to his step, and then he's like, no, keep it cool, and it's like that internal monologue, because he's young, he's still trying to figure himself out, and he just, like, walks away after that.
So weird.
He's probably like, he just has a lot of respect for you because you play like probably the best bass guitar in the entire school. So like one day he's convinced you guys are gonna have a band. So
Joe thinks he's wrong, but that's only because Joe knows she plays the best bass in the entire county.
oh, listen, he's got like a that tunnel vision. He thinks of the school. He doesn't know that many people to be able to be like, oh my god, the best bassist in the world. But yeah, just walks away from you. You have a cassette tape in your hands now. So, like you said, he kind of mentioned like just listen to it when you can just kind of get in the zone of it.
Put it in her bag.
All right.
She'll put it in Kit's cassette deck when she gets him back out of her locker.
Perfect. All right. And then, like I said, last period goes totally normally. Again, homework. Nothing really of interest to note. But at the end of the day, Buck, you're gonna get approached by one of your lacrosse buddies, and I can't do a jock voice. I'm not gonna lie.
You can, dude. Just like take like 50% off.
The turtle on Matthew McConaughey, and it still works.
All right.
All right. He's
up.
So one of your teammates, Bobby, is gonna come up to you at the very end of the day. And you're thinking you're going to practice because, coach was kind of prepped for everybody to, like, he was giving the hype speech during lunch and getting everyone trying to have that good team spirit and everything, even though you were sent off to work with your tutor. But Bobby comes up to you and just says, this is when everyone's kind of starting to walk in their own directions to go home. And he's just like, hey, did you hear about, what did I name him? Coach Hendricks. Apparently he got, it's so funny. Apparently he got hit in the gut with a baseball during last period gym by one of those like pitching robots. And I don't think we're having practice today.
Nice. I mean, like, not nice. Like, that sucks for coach, like, eating one straight in the gut, but, like, did he hurl?
I mean, I heard he's still kind of on and off hurling. I think that's why he went home. He didn't want any of us to see him like that.
Gnarly. Oh, all right. No practice today. All right, solid.
So get some solid shut-eye tonight or something, because, you got extra time.
Were you my mom?
No, I'm Bobby.
Like, dude, I do, like, up high, down low with you, but I already know you're too slow for that. Jeez, what's going on, Bob? Get your head.
He's gonna do one of those things where he like pretends to like punch you in, like just like pretend to punch you in the gut, but then like tries to smack you across the head instead, so you're like distracted by the gut punch. Just to try to get back at you.
Like, where was that like 5 seconds ago? Jeez, all right. See you later, Bob.
Hey, before you go,
Yeah,
I got something for you. I found this thing, I don't know, you're doing that tutoring stuff with the smart girl, right?
Yeah. I mean, I have to, but like, yeah.
But like, you've heard that, like, I think her dad like works for the Loop or something. He like does some tinkering. I have this thing, and he's gonna like reach around into his backpack, like kind of that like cup holder thing on the side of his backpack, and take out this thing that looks like a really weird, like kind of dented up thermos. And he's gonna hand it to you, and he's like, I don't know what this is. It looks like a whole bunch of stuff is just out of whack in there. There's a whole bunch of pieces. But like, can you get someone to look at this? Because like, I have no clue what it is, but it seems like you probably have somebody you can ask. Because I think What, that whole crew kind of seems like they have some techie stuff going on. They can probably help you out.
Sure, I'll get him to look at it or something. I don't know. Going to, Gliderama later, so.
You're going roller skating with them?
Not like that, dude. They're going out. I'm also going out at the same time. Apparently, they're all going like crazy fast or something.
Huh. So, that thing I heard about Gliderama is... You guys are checking that out?
Yeah, I guess so.
Huh.
Either way, could be fun.
Well, if that's how you want to spend your day off practice. And then he'll kind of like just like thump your arm.
Yeah, alright, man. Get you around. I'll thump him back. Give him kind of like.
And he'll be like, have a solid night, and just start walking towards his place.
Get after it, Bobby.
And he'll just kind of like throw up a hand as he's walking away.
Solid guy.
Good teammate. All right. So that was all I had for you guys for school today. What's the plan for the rest of the evening?
Buck's gotta head to the elementary school nearby. He's actually going to get there a bit earlier, such that like the teachers are probably a bit surprised to be handing off his younger sister to him. He was like, "Yeah, no, practice got canceled." He motions towards the two bags on his back, one of school books and the other one of like all the lacrosse equipment stuff. And he just kind of casually has the lacrosse stick at his side. So yeah, I can pick it up Rose now. That'd be cool, right? And just walks Rose home, gets the door open, and gets her to her room. Throws something in the microwave and then puts on the TV for a little bit. Probably gets an exercise bike because he has a lot of like just ambient energy.
Sure. What are the rest of you doing after school? So, did you guys made a solid plan to go to the roller rink? I think meet us. Did you say meet a
Just
specific
meet
time or
up. We'll say,
anything?
whatever time, like after.
Probably like what's the cool time to meet up? 7 o'clock?
Well, if you say 7, someone else is gonna show up at 7:20 and make it cooler.
You gotta build that into your estimate.
Yeah.
I'm the person
Well,
that shows up places at like 6:40, so
Yeah, same. Big
Well,
same.
I can't go home until at least 6 because that's when Earl goes to the diner to talk with his loser friends. I gotta get my skates.
okay. Do you where do you hang out in between, or just kind of at school?
Usually go out back behind like down by the public library. There's a couple of buildings that are kind of abandoned. So Joe kind of hangs out back there. Some kid starts drum beat and she just plugs into it, jacks into him, and starts playing bass. That's what she does until she can sneak in past Earl.
I think I probably, I don't know, maybe live really close to the school. So I literally just like run home, get my after school snacks that my grandmother's already prepared, and ask for an extra serving, and then take little snacks all wrapped up, and then go find wherever Joe hangs out. I'm also like, I don't have anything to do. And so we'll just be like peeking through the window, like at this abandoned building, watching you play drums, and just like hold up a little like snack bag.
Isabel,
If Joe sees you, she'll wave you out.
I mean, like through the window.
Isabel is about a 15-minute walk from the school, but it takes her a good 45 minutes because here lately there's been this weird guy that's been following her, so she tries to lose him on her way home. And then when she gets
Must be
home,
weird if she noticed.
When she gets home, she first checks the basement to see if her dad's home, which he never is. He's always working super late, never around. But then she does the nerdy thing. She does all of her homework, plus any extra credit, and still has
Cody.
time to, and still has time to get to the roller rink early.
Perfect.
Where she's just sitting there outside on a bench, like kind of off to the side because she doesn't want people to know that she's super early. So she's just reading a book like she was supposed to be there the whole time.
Okay. So Isabel is already there with a book. Jason and Crystal, would you'd probably be showing up like on time ish, probably together since you already were eating dinner.
I mean, probably. If I don't know if Joe would want or let Crystal follow back to go get her skates, but
Yeah,
if,
Joe
you know, she's
seems
pretty much pounding around.
extremely, strangely tolerant of Crystal in a way that Joe is not tolerant of most people.
Yeah, I just gotta sit there and watch, you know? Like, I'm just like, oh, music. Don't really interrupt a ton. But yeah, we'll follow along if allowed. If not, we'll be like, okay, I'll meet you there, you know? But
All right, and that just leaves Buck. Yeah.
Late, super late. Not super
Oh,
late, but like
jeez.
definitely a few minutes late. He'll come like cruising in on a bicycle, going real fast, and he's got into more casual stuff. So he's in his basically like a fighter pilot's jacket from like something Maverick would wear. It's just a little too big for him, so it's of course flapping out behind him as he turns and burns on the bike. For the most part, looks pretty similar. Just some very frayed jeans and. So sorry. Pops took forever with the grub.
I'm just like bouncing up and down in place, just so like anxious. Like, okay, let's go. We're all here.
Joe's coughing slightly and waving away the dust that you kicked up with that power slide in.
You going in there or what? I think Crystal's about to like, blow up or something.
You just mention her name and she turns and runs through the door. Like, yes, let's go.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. Izzy, he goes and pulls out the weird dented thermos
Isabel?
thing. Yeah, Izzy. Somebody gave me this and wants to figure out like what it is. So maybe between you and Joe here, you can figure that out.
Belle looks at Joe and beet red. Yeah, we can figure that out together.
Awesome. I want to go see how fast these skates really are.
All right, so all of you follow Crystal.
Yep. I will unsling my backpack and push a little button on the top, and it unfolds into a little three-wheeled robot. Stay close to me, Kit. I walk in.
Is Kit on wheels?
Yep, 3 of them. 2 in the front, 1 in the back.
So Kit can go roller skating with you guys if you
Yeah.
want to go.
Yeah.
Adorable.
I was
So-
tweaking Kit last week. I can get up to 35 miles per hour.
Like,
That's the
All right.
school bus in town.
And Isabella's replaced the book and is now looking at this thing as she
Okay.
walks.
Sure. So you all walk into the Glidorama, and it's, if you guys haven't been to it, then it's a typical roller rink that has those has some pretty fancy colorful lights trying to go on the different walls, and there's a bunch of kids screaming and running around, and some of them just falling down, just not even fast skates, just regular normal skates. Just haven't used them yet. And you'll kind of look around and kind of take stock of it's pretty busy for a Thursday night. It's you know, it I think usually they have like a deal where there's cheaper skates on Thursday. So guys came on a good night. And do you want to try to buy skates? Do you want to look around? What do you guys want to do? What's the plan of action?
I assume there's like a little concession stand area with some tables.
Yep, there's that little area that has all the typical goodies, the nachos and
Hot dogs.
hot dogs, cotton candy, all that sort of stuff. There's a few kids sitting down, like some of them kind of are like kind of just like massaging their ankles because they've probably already been here for a while and they're getting to the point where they've already fallen down. You see some teenagers that look like they have no intention of actually buying any skates at all, and they're just there to kind of like people watch, and maybe they heard the same thing you all did about the fast skates, and seems like they're just kind of there for the ride.
Hey, Crystal, do we have to like do like an inside deal to find these fast skates? Like, is there a code word?
Oh, I don't know. I'll just jump up on the nearest table next to me and just yell out, "Does anyone have particularly fast skates?"
Joe does one of these.
You will see some of the kids that the kids that were just kind of people watching, all of a sudden they turn their eyes towards you, and you know, they're just kind of hoping that something will happen with this and see if maybe, you know, someone comes out of the blue. And actually, you know what? Maybe I haven't actually used any mechanics from this book yet. Maybe I should have you roll to see if you can like do a skill.
Do that.
Don't
What I
let the rules
say
get in
is,
the way.
I have very high investigate. Could this be considered an investigate? I'm just doing it loudly, not sneakily.
Well, I'd say if you want to do an investigate, you'd have to kind of be trying to look around to see, like, either
Fair.
someone will come up to you and like be like, "Oh yeah, it's me," or you know, you might have to like see if there's someone who's looking kind of weird, like.
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely keeping an eye on anyone. Also looking for any like particularly upset dads that have maybe fallen, you know, and to hear the stories. But yeah, just kind of looking around the crowd after I yelled to see if anyone. Be like, huh? Anyone?
Sure. Okay, so that will be for investigate. It's mind and investigate.
Beautiful. I should probably have dice. And it's a base 2d6, yeah? Or no, it's a dice pool?
Well,
I don't
it's,
remember.
yeah, it's a dice pool. So you're gonna take your score in mind, and you'll take that many dice, and then you will look at your skill in investigate, and then you'll add that number to your dice pool.
We get to roll 6 dice, baby.
All right.
Oh, that's a lot of 6s in here. That's 12, 18.
I just need to know how many
No, it's just
sixes
sixes,
you
so
have,
3
'cause those are successes. Okay. 3 successes. Jeez. Okay. So you do actually see 2 things because you got 3 successes. One of the kids who is like kind of massaging their ankles, kind of like they've been here for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
You overhear the dad actually complaining to the guy selling roller skates, and he kind of like points to his kid at like his kid sitting down, like kind of looking like he's hurt, so you can tell that that's the respective dad.
Yeah.
He's like getting frustrated, but in like that still calm way of like, my kid came here to have a good time, and you're gonna give him some wonky skates that don't even work properly. They're going faster than I've ever seen. Like, I used to roller skate back in my like derby girls go slower than that. What happened with those? And the other thing you will notice is the guy who's selling roller skates, the guy who's behind the counter, he my inspiration for him is literally Sid from Toy Story. So if you guys just want to picture that, like
Yes.
perfect example, except instead of, wearing the skull t-shirt, he's wearing probably like a gliderama, like it probably looks like a bowling shirt because I don't know if there's really like a roller rink approved uniform, but it kind of just looks like that vibe. It has his name, which is Sid, because I'm creative.
I feel like it used to be a bowling alley and it got converted.
Yeah,
I
there
mean,
you go.
honestly, there are probably places that even have a little bit of both. Like this side is like the party room with the bowling, and this room is. But
Yes.
you'll notice that although Sid is trying his best to seem like he's handling this in a very like professional way for a teenager who's in charge of selling roller skates and dealing with customers, he kind of has a little bit of a smirk on his face. Like he's trying to hide it, he's trying to play it cool, but he just looks sleazy. Like like I said, he looks like Sid from Toy Story. He just looks like that kid.
Are the
Exactly.
skates still with the kid or the skates with the dad?
There is a pair of skates that's basically like kind of in front of the dad on the counter. So he's like trying to basically return them and get his money back.
Those are fast skates. And I'll just like point to the ones on the desk. I can try and grab them.
Nah.
I don't have any money.
Yeah, that's why I do. You can't wait. You came to a. You don't have any. How are you going to rent skates?
I don't know. I'm cute. I usually just get things.
Not everyone has money, Buck.
Like, Buck's just gonna walk up or just start walking over the counter, shaking his head because he thought he was the dumb one here.
I'm 10.
You know what money means.
Yeah, but not that I have to have it.
All right.
Plus, this was an investigation. You didn't know you're going to be paying for skates.
But of course, I'm maybe paying for skates. I want to skate. What? Does the conversation look like it's gonna cool down at some point, or is like?
Yeah. So the dad is kind of getting to the point where he's trying to speak. He's like, I want to talk to a manager, and the manager's not in today. There's literally Sid behind the counter, and there's a girl named Lisa who's working. She looks like she's probably like a little bit older, like maybe in her like 20s or so, but she's just working the snack booth. So like there's no manager, so eventually the dad is just going to get frustrated and kind of just like he kind of just pushes the skates towards Sid and just kind of walks away and goes to grab his kid's arm and is starting to get ready to lead him out. Well, he's gonna pick up the kid because, like I said, the kid fell.
Buck is going to walk over like he hasn't been paying attention to anything at all, and that he doesn't know what's going on, which is pretty easy to look for him to pull off. And he's like, "Oh, what's up? Can I get some skates? I just like take these. Look at the ones right here on the counter."
Sid just looks at you and says, "You're a size 10 kids, like roller skates?"
I mean, if you got anything like this one, but like bigger.
No, sorry. These apparently these are defective. So no, I sorry, I can't really give you these. They go. What do you mean they go too fast? No, they go a normal speed for.
No,
for roller skates.
what means they're defective? Like they go too fast or what? Like.
I mean, a kid fell on his face, and the dad was mad that he fell on his face and took it out on me. I don't know.
These bunch of posers don't know how to skate, and all of a sudden, like, it's your problem.
I mean, I just work here. I'm just trying to make a
No,
living, but
exactly, dude. Why don't you send me up one of the ones that claims defective in my size, right?
want
And I'll take
defective.
the. You know what? And I'll take those as well. I got someone who might be in their size.
I'm gonna have you roll
Charm.
either a charm or a lead.
Oh, I'll take a lead.
Figured
'Cause
you
that
might.
gives me 7 dice.
Ooh.
That is 1 success. Thank goodness I did.
Okay. So he's not gonna give you defective skates. You got a success. So basically what's gonna happen is he's gonna be like, no, sorry, listen, that dude just like chewed my ear off because his kids fell down. I don't know if it's a good idea. Just like kind of almost a little frantic, but like kind of trying to stay chill again still, because just, doodly, whatever. But you do realize that he kind of like as he's talking to you, he kind of does like a little sleight of hand thing, and you pick up on this because of the success. He does this little like sleight of hand thing with a thing of wax for the wheels of the skates, and kind of like tries to like stash it away in his pocket. And he's like, listen, like if you want to go fast, just be good at roller skating. But he's gonna be like, what size are you?
And he just will straight up like bring his leg up onto the table. That size.
Size
So-
awesome.
He'll roll his eyes and get one of those like foot measure
Oh,
things
yeah.
you get at like the shoe stores, and he like just kind of puts it up against your foot, and he's kind of rolling his eyes and like scoffing a little bit, and he's like, all right, and he goes and he grabs you the skates and brings them back.
In their context, it'd be a very aggressive flirting move. Just like throw your leg up, right, but up to shoulder height. Oh, and the smaller ones, like kid size. And he gets the 2 skates. He'll pay for them and then bring over and drop a smaller pair in front of Crystal, and then go and
Just the size that's gonna magically be the right size for Crystal because you
Yeah,
didn't
of
size her
course.
feet. Yeah. Okay.
All 10-year-olds the same, right?
Yeah.
It's kid size.
It goes according to the age. So you're a size 1 when you're 1-year-old. By the
There
time
you
you're
go.
99, your shoes are really big.
He's
On the shoes.
massive.
All right, so you go back with the skates. He wouldn't give you any of the defective ones. But do you want to roller skate? Or
Yeah.
okay.
Came out here to roller skate. We weren't roller skating? Yeah. Plus, I gave the nerds something to look at, so. I'm
Speaking
gonna
of
go
which,
socialize.
Joe's
Is
gonna talk to Belle and say, point to the some of the empty tables. Say, do you want to look at that now?
You're muted.
Absolutely. I don't skate. The last time I did, it did not go very well. It was very embarrassing, and I would rather not embarrass myself on this particular night.
Joe's skates are draped around Kit's neck, but they're literally her last pair of work boots that she bolted roller skate wheels to the bottom of.
Yes.
But I like what you did with those. It's really cool.
Thanks. Earl won't buy me stuff, so I have to make it myself.
Skills are
So,
always good to
yeah.
have.
All right. So while you two are looking at the thermos looking thing, do you have Kit go and like roll around or anything like that?
Yeah, I have Kit stick close to Crystal.
Okay. And then so Buck and Crystal, you're gonna go ice skating, roller skating.
Yeah, I'm gonna like put my shoes on, be like right there, put the skates on, and then just stand up, be like, Buck, I don't know how to skate.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how to skate.
What?
My brother like works on robot things all the time and doesn't ever hang out with me, and my grandma's too old for skates.
Fine, come on.
Already slipping. Like, just
No,
like holding on to Kit.
Step. Yeah, I was thinking like Kit could be the glider they give kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the chair for the ice skating.
Yeah.
Like the ice walker, but with a three-wheeled
Do
robot.
that for you, happily beeping the whole time.
Yeah, just step. Let your momentum like take you.
All right.
I'm gonna
So
be very focused on that until I get the hang of it.
Mhm.
good thing
Now
you didn't get a
turn,
pair of those defective
turn,
skates,
no,
huh?
turn.
Boom, into a wall.
So as this is happening,
How do you make it
Um,
stop?
the song "Take on Me" is kind of playing in the background,
Yes.
giving good, 80s vibes. And while you two are kind of focusing on learning skating, Buck, do you mention anything about what you saw from Sid?
Yeah, it's wild. Like, I thought I was gonna get you like the really fast skates, but he just like took them off the table and marked them with some wax or something. It was wild.
I'm just staring at my feet. I'm glad I don't have fast ones. Wax?
Yeah, like candle stuff.
Well, more like the stuff they put on like surfboards and well,
Hockey
is that
sticks.
the same? Is that the same? Like anyway,
No,
I don't know.
it's different.
Yeah.
Really?
It's
And
similar oils.
Mhm.
I don't know that, but I know that.
oh, okay, gotcha. Well, so okay, as you guys are kind of focusing on the just learning and focusing on not falling and everything, you do actually see someone who's freshly coming onto the roller rink, and as soon as their skates hit, like there's like that crazy wild colored carpet everywhere around the roller skating area, but once you actually get to like the wooded actual rink, the second that person's let's see, 1 second, there's this guy named Hertz. He looks like he's kind of just like a chill, like a little bit older than all of you, probably high schooler. He is like kind of making his way with some of his buddies onto the roller rink floor. And the second that his skates hit the wood, he just goes flying. Like he's trying to stop himself. His friends are behind him wondering like how he got so fast, and he like starts flying just straight ahead. And luckily Hertz is good enough to be able to kind of like instinctually catch himself. He kind of almost like picks up one of his legs and almost like tries to like push off of the wall. And it almost, for a second, this is going to sound crazy, but for a second it almost seemed like his skate like glided on the wall, almost like it stuck even when it wasn't even like gravity keeping him down. And he kind of catches himself, kind of does like a cool little circle to kind of kick off the wall. And he basically just turns a little too fast and just like splats out on the floor.
That's not normal, right?
No, that's super gnarly though.
And
Just
he's
ate it.
what?
Just ate it, dude.
Are you
And he's
heckling?
like,
Are you
he's
heckling him?
he's like, I'm good, I'm good. But like everyone at the roller rink is staring because like this is kind of a newer batch of people. They all, 7 o'clock was a good time to meet, like you guys did. So there's some new people coming in, and a lot of people are staring and trying to like help him up. And he's just like brushing him off. He's like, I'm fine, I'm fine. And he gets up, tries to skate again, and realizes he's going way too fast. So he tries to make a beeline, like just straight for the exit of the rink to get back on the carpet. And this, once his skates hit the carpet again, he just like wheel stop. He just falls face forward.
Oh, dick.
He's like,
Hate wood
geez,
and carpet.
he seems he might be a little drunk.
There's a joke there.
So you don't really know if he's just like bad at skating or
night.
what, but he's just like, oh man, I know I haven't been skating in a while, but geez. And he kind of just like saunters off and goes to just take off the roller skates for a little bit.
Hey, yo, Crystal, let's go. Come on,
Okay.
let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Getting a little more confident.
Mhm.
I feel confident. She doesn't look it, but she feels it, you know?
All right, and then we're gonna kind of flash back to Isabel and Joe. So you're looking at this thermos. It does need like a screwdriver to kind of like just open like the side panel, to see into what's on the inside, see what it looks like. Because Buck's friend Bobby did mention that like a lot of stuff in there looks like it's all messed up. But he also doesn't look like he's good with tools, so like some of the screws are kind of loose. So if either of you don't have a screwdriver, you could probably just like kind of twist it with your hand.
What
Well-
kind of screwdriver?
Philip said.
Joe would
Oh.
have like a little set of like screwdrivers and stuff that she keeps for working, tuning up her bass, like working on her bass and stuff. So she usually has like not like a big toolbox, but like the kind you would use on glasses and stuff. The small precision ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're able to get this panel open. And if either of you want to roll a tinker or a calculate, I think either of those would be okay for trying to, like I said, you basically open up and there's just a kind of, there's a mess of a few like kind of loose parts, and just kind of see if either of you can figure out kind of how to piece it back together.
I have
I've
an 8
got 4
calculate.
dice in Tinker.
I have an
Okay.
8 in calculate.
Wait, 8 in the skill alone?
No, I've got 3 in calculate and then 5 in my mind.
Gotcha. Okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, wait, I don't think you can go that high with calculate. Okay.
Isabel
Yeah.
can.
Isabel can.
And if one of you wants to assist the other two, then you get
Yeah.
an extra dice from
I'll-
that person.
Uh,
You can roll
yeah, I
separately,
think
or
that's
you
what I'll
can
do.
assist. So either way.
well, because I have 4 dice in my Tinker pool, so my first thought was to roll that in addition. But if I can give her an extra dice just by helping, then that's what I'll do.
So your tinker pool is tinker plus your tech skill. Those are the two together.
Yeah, so I've got +1 for the Tinker skill, and then 3 for the
Perfect.
base skill.
Okay. Yeah. If you want to assist, Isabel, you can have another die in your pool.
I have to get another D6. Hold on.
I know this game is challenging. You need like
I have
Usually I
lots of
played a wizard,
D6s.
and so I have a lot of D6s.
I have a lot of D6s too. 1,
My
2,
Uh,
3.
what's it called? Powered by the Apocalypse dice box. It's only D6s. I did add some
Ah.
D10s for Cyberpunk lately, but that's new.
I think Cult
I've-
uses that one too, D10.
3 6s. 3
Three-
6s.
Jeez, okay. You guys are rolling really well.
For
Yeah,
now.
so it looks like basically on the inside, it looks like there's just a few pieces loose. There's this one little cylindrical looking thing that like it kind of just looks like a crystal of some sort. And then it looks like kind of just the pieces that are holding it into place, like everything just got loose. It almost looks like it was like forgotten and kicked around and moved and jostled and stuff like that. So it looks like basically just the pieces that are holding that crystal in place all fell apart, but the crystal still looks okay. So you can pretty easily you can pretty easily get everything kind of back together, especially with the assistance from Joe, because you'll have that little toolkit to kind of be fiddling with stuff on the inside. And so now that you've kind of gotten everything pieced together, you can reclose back the little side panel of it. And you look at it a little bit more, kind of trying to be like, okay, what does this do? What does this do? And you do notice that around the top of the thermos, it like almost has 4 little like metal rings that you're not sure if you want to like you almost think that you could look like you could remove them if you wanted to.
Joe, it looks like we can take these off. Should we? I don't know what this thing is, but it fixed it.
We were just inside it. It didn't look like it had anything like dangerous, right?
No, it looked perfectly fine. They could be like friendship bracelets.
Do you want to
Joe
wear them as
blushes.
bracelets?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So you take 2 of the rings off. Both of you put one around your wrist. And when you take those 2 of the 4 metal rings off the top, there's almost like a little like sliding switch that you can kind of like slide to side. And right now it's switched in the off position.
If this stops time.
Can you not?
Does Isabel say that out loud?
No, this is a Dido thing.
Okay.
So do we flip the switch? We flip the switch, right?
Yeah. That would be rad.
Here, let's flip it together.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
And maybe Joe lets her hand linger just a second or 2 after.
Okay, well,
Last
hate
time
to
stop.
say that Dido called me out.
Oh
may
man,
have
if time
taken some-
stopping, can Crystal be in the middle of falling?
Oh yeah, we can. So okay, going back to the 2 of you. So you both have these bracelets on, and you flip the switch, and all of a sudden, the music stops. All of the voices of all of the people that you heard all around you just die down. All of the motion of the entire area around you, which is a lot because you're at a roller rink where there are roller skates that are notoriously going fast and unruly. The 2 of you just feel quiet and still, but you're both still there. You're both Joe's having her hand linger a little bit, and you 2 are just in this moment.
Now I have that song stuck in my head.
You 2 just
You
have
gotta
this
get that one out.
utter calm, considering you're in a very high-paced area. Yeah,
That's so
Taylor and
rad.
Turk, if you want to talk about how you think you're frozen, and then I think after that we'll probably go to break. So right now, frozen in space. Taylor, what is Crystal doing?
Yeah, I feel like we were just like this close, or she was. I'm sure. I mean, Buck is much faster and could have already been off the rink, but she's like this close to being off of it. but is in the process of falling. I think Nicodemus is getting flung out of the bag that was on her shoulders and is in like a like little terrified rat stance. And then I think her face is just smushed up against Kit, so she just face planted into him, and her feet are like way up in the air.
I for Buck, it's definitely like turning around and just like doing like a ooh, like
Like,
That's a
that's gonna
nasty
hurt.
fall.
a
Oh,
recoil.
no.
Yeah, like yeah, that's it for Buck though.
Okay.
Nicodemus is on a like trajectory right for Buck's face, but like we don't know it yet. He is.
Okay. All right. So I think that is a great time for us to take a break with two of our players actually just perpetually frozen anyway. Or not perpetually, but you know, for the time being it seems like they're a little stuck in their situation. Um so yeah, we'll be right back in about 10 minutes or so, and we'll be able to hear what happens with our group of adventuring kiddos. So we'll be back soon. Bye, everyone. Welcome back, everybody. Hi. So where we last left our adventurers, they Joe and Isabel just recently found out that they can stop time. And they figured it out in a pretty interesting place. They figured it out in a roller rink, which there's a lot of motion and a lot of sounds, and all of a sudden it's just dead quiet in there.
Sorry, point of order. They found a second way to stop time aside from looking at each other's eyes. Or
Yeah.
eye in Joe's
I
case.
don't know if they've made eye contact. That would be a little too awkward.
It happened once, I'm
Well,
sure.
Joe
On accident.
Joe does like to have the protection of the hair that she can see through, but other people can't.
So you two are in this moment. I think Joe said that her hand lingered a little bit just near where Isabel was, but also there's an entire roller rink that's just frozen around you. So what do you guys want to do?
I just gonna say this is so rad.
You think did this thing do that? I think Isabel's hand has kind of stayed within like a gravitational pull of Joe's, like hasn't like completely left, but they're not quite touching either. So it's just like that little bit of like they're moving together, but they're not quite touching.
The action at a distance. I think we did.
That's really cool, right?
Yeah. That's wicked bad.
We could do anything we want.
Is there a kid?
Why do I want to do
nearby?
homework right now?
Well, I mean, because you've got all the time in the world, right? Jeez, imagine how good I could get at base, but the world's not running. But is there a kid who looks or has been particularly obnoxious since we got here?
That's a good. I mean, honestly, there are probably a whole group of kids that are just yelling and screaming, and let's say there's one that almost seems like they're like the leader of the pack, that they've been running around and like they've been doing that thing where like they kind of like run on their skates a little bit and then try to like skid to a stop on the side, but sucks at it. But like every single time he like laughs so loud and he's like, "Did you guys see that? Did you guys?" And like all of them aren't really paying attention to him, but he seems like he's just like constantly just trying to get any single person's attention that's looking at them, even if it means just being like, "You there!" And you probably didn't like that, considering like you usually like to kind of blend into the background a little bit, and they're just calling out random people, just being like, "Look at what I can do! Look at what I can do!"
Joe's gonna look at Isabel and say, "I'm gonna run an experiment." And she gets up and she goes out to that kid and says,
Ooh.
Can I physically pick up the kid and turn him around backwards?
Yeah,
direction he was skating in.
yeah. I mean, if you're here, I'll have you roll a body force roll just to see if Joe specifically is able to just. It's a small child, so it'll probably be
Alright.
doable, but
I got 1 success.
perfect. Yep, you pick that kid up. You like turn them around. They're facing a complete opposite direction, and the great part is that they were definitely very clearly in motion when they were frozen. So they're going to be going in a totally different direction if you leave them like that.
I know that we were working on this thing. Did we notice the guy eat the carpet?
Yeah, I mean it caused a little bit of a commotion, so you guys you probably looked up very briefly. I don't know how much you two would usually like stare at a scene or something like that, but it definitely stirred a lot of people. And like I said, he literally like kicked off the wall and all this sort of stuff, fell down twice, so you probably caught some part of it.
At that point, Joe was just reveling in the proximity to Isabel, so Joe probably wouldn't have noticed all of that.
Yeah, Isabel wouldn't have noticed because she had a new toy.
Okay. Well, there might have been a moment where you heard like some raised voices in the background, even if you didn't turn towards it.
Yeah.
But there also is.
If I want,
Sorry.
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say for story's sake, he probably still is face planted on the carpet during the moment when you freeze. So if you look around, you'll see someone that literally their like feet are like right at the edge of where the rink ends and the carpet meets, and just completely right from there fallen over.
Rug
Yep.
burn. I will ask
That-
Crystal
I don't-
when she's halfway down. I'd set her back up on her feet and
Oh,
then put her rat back on her shoulder.
very nice.
But
Okay.
I will take that guy's skates off his feet because obviously those are the ones we were coming here to look at.
Sure, yeah. You take him off. He was a little bit older than all of you, but I mean, like, honestly, big skates are one of those things where you can just kind of stuff, like, some tissues in the toe of it or something and
extra
be fine.
socks.
Yeah,
Oh, God,
exactly.
this guy's feet stink.
And you will notice that the wheels of those shoes do feel, like, extra grimy. Like, if you've roller skated before, you know that they, have a little bit of a wax that they put on with them, but they just seem extra grimy. So,
Like a little extra grip.
Isabel's going to, while Joe is taking off the skates and putting Crystal back together, Isabel's gonna do a little experiment of her own. She's gonna go over to like the little DJ booth and it's gonna change the song.
okay.
Like, so when the time starts, it's gonna be the Cranberries.
A specific song by them, or just...
It's zombie, isn't it?
I was
That's
thinking
what
zombie.
Yeah, cool. No,
Actually,
that's honestly what I was thinking too, but
Only
I
one
also
way.
don't know any other songs by them other than that one, so
Uh,
I wasn't sure.
There's zombie
there's
and then there's
Linger.
linger.
Linger. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Do I know
Which is
that? Hmm.
suitable for a time stop.
I was debating between the two, but I think right now zombie is.
I know a lot of Cranberry songs. Used to draw comic books to the Cranberries.
Oh, cool.
And because Isabel doesn't have any skates on, like the wood floor is waxed, so she's just walking, trying to walk in her regular shoes and not fall.
Are you going anywhere in particular, or you're just coming
Uh,
back from the DJ booth?
I'm going over to where Joe is fixing Crystal and Buck.
Okay.
This is gonna go horribly wrong in about 2 minutes. I think we should get. I think Crystal would love this, and it would blow Buck's mind. Now the question is, do we turn it back on, or do we just see if we can just suck them in with us?
Well, Let's try putting one of these rings on him first. See if that changes it without turning the machine off.
I will take off one of the other ones and hand it to Joe. Like when you're handing like a book and your hands just touch barely. It's one of those situations.
This is getting real spicy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Joe's
it's a little
normally
too, it's a little too hot. We want to check the TOS here. Hand touching? I think not.
Joe's normally very pallid face is a lot more crimson all of a sudden.
Okay. So you kind of have like a moment where you're blushing, and maybe the two of you kind of get a little flustered, but you have a golden kind of like it's kind of like a bangle kind of thing in your hand.
I slip one on Crystal.
Crystal, all of a sudden you were in the motion of falling, but last you remember, but you must have corrected yourself. You don't.
It's
You,
like,
Oh. And you have a cool new bracelet on your arm.
Now, Crystal, don't freak out. I
Did I miss
said
it?
don't.
Did I miss?
And you
Kind
also notice that you three are the only three moving at the moment.
What they look like? Were they the Greys? Is that the really what they look like?
No, it wasn't actual aliens this time. It was just alien tech. And I'll show the torch.
Must have gotten loose from Area
Yeah.
51. It's nearby.
It's
in Nevada,
definitely
right?
alien
Experiments.
tech.
So I didn't miss them. Oh.
No.
We have the power of gods, you guys.
I have so
Before you
many
get
ideas of
too
what to
excited
do.
about that, I do want to have one of anyone who has tech calculate just to roll some dice for me really fast. It could be multiple, it could be somebody assisting someone else, whatever you want to do.
Well,
I am no help in this. I think
I
I
think-
run away.
Spell case 8, I think, is a good start.
Okay. Yeah, so
I'll help.
go ahead.
Sorry, what are we doing?
You said you have a calculate the 8, right? For calculate.
Calculate 8, yes.
So Joe will assist you again if you want to roll a calculate check for me.
What? One success. Oh no,
That's-
2. Sorry, that's a 6, not a 1.
Okay. Sure.
I have-
So
I have dice with pictures on them, and I thought the 6 was a 1.
oh, okay.
So 2 successes.
Cool. So, one thing that does occur to you while you're in this moment where you have perfect silence and your thoughts are sometimes a little flustered and frazzled, and sometimes, you're kind of in that, like, I want to do homework, just kind of like trying to recollect yourself. You do know that this sort of like power cell, whatever is in this thing, probably isn't going to last forever.
Oh.
So,
We have to be quick about this.
mhm.
And
I was
will.
quickly running away, but then I turn around and like run back, be like, I gotta
You
talk to
need to
Buck.
get Buck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the last bangle on Buck.
Buck's been bangled.
Oh, dude.
Caught you
What?
flunging.
What? What are we doing? What's the?
Aliens.
Yeah. Joe and I stopped time.
Is that my thermos?
Yeah. That's the one you gave us. Yeah, we're the
Oh.
only ones that can move right now.
Ooh, give me a second. And Buck's gonna run over, and I'm gonna grab the skates. I assume Hertz is he like taking them off, or is he falling over again?
Joe already took Hertz's skates.
Give me that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where was the
Joe
wax?
get them over.
Yeah, I'll like look over and then look back. All right, cool.
The wheels are extra sticky. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Where was that wax you were talking about? The candle stuff.
Buck is like already like abdomen all over the counter where Sid is trying to see if there's any like container or something of like wax or anything that looks waxy or.
Okay, so the success that you got was what I gave you was he put something in his pocket.
Where is Sid?
He is currently he's kind of tucked in the back corner because nobody is trying to buy skates right now. And he actually has a thing of wax in his hands. He looks very much so like that like sickly sneer of like he's doing something he knows he shouldn't.
Sweet. Okay. Yoink that.
Such a turd.
Quick his nose with it, like flick his nose, and then give him like a you're flinching and flick him again, and then I run back. All right, I got the wax, and I go for like a high five to Crystal.
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
I don't know
is
what
this
we're doing,
forever?
but I'm very excited. I think we're winning. Whatever game we're in, we're winning it.
So is this like forever now?
Well, there's an off switch.
No, he's super muted. Like you're making word sounds and I can't hear them.
I was just testing you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was just seeing if you could read lips.
God, I thought the machine was starting to fail.
It's the whatever the power source is limited unless we find more power. We either have to turn the switch back on or
Then like let's turn it off.
Before you do, just little GM question. Do you guys grab any more skates? Do you have any skates? Do you want to
still got
try
some
out
skates.
the ones on
You know
me.
what?
Yeah, I still got skates on me, which I've been like using to increase my own
I want
speed
to
here.
look for more skates with this. Now that I know about this wax, with this waxy substance on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, so it seems
put
like
her
the
skates
wax
on.
is probably the same thing that was feeling really grimy on Hertz's skates that Joe now has.
We got wax, so you just need
Yeah.
skates.
All right, I'll just take a bear skate. Oh, this is not going to go
Yep.
well.
Joe slips on her skates, laces up her boots.
Right.
So,
So let's get out of here. And I motion towards the door. Like we shouldn't be standing around here with skates and grease. So like,
I'm
Yeah,
just like,
sure.
okay. I start to go towards the door, but I do stop at the concession stand and fill my pocket and Nicodemus's bag full of candy. So many Butterfingers and Nerds. It's insane.
Yeah. Crystal, grab me a couple of Reese's.
and I'm assuming you're waiting until after you step outside before you
yeah, no. I also have a full thing of Pepsi, not trademarked. Like I let it go, so it's just gonna go right into Sid's face.
Sid's gonna have such a bad headache when he wakes up.
Oh, it's just like the plastic cup thing that's just gonna be splashed in his face.
Oh, I thought you had a bottle.
Oh no. Like I get a cup, and I imagine I even have to like open the machine a little bit and scoop it out of to get the liquid, and then.
Oh, you had a
love it.
bottle and you were gonna throw it at him.
No,
with the
oh my gosh, I'm not
Chucking
a
it at his
monster.
head.
I'm just a prankster.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, okay.
So let's set the scene. Everybody's gonna wake up to zombie playing, and
like
One
What?
kid's
out
gonna
of
skate
nowhere.
backwards.
Yeah.
Sid's gonna have
There's
soda
one
in
guy
there.
that's just like face planted but isn't actually wearing skates that he just actually tripped on his own in a roller rink instead of falling because of skates.
Now his skates are gone and he's just in his stinky, nasty socks.
All right, so you're all safely outside of the roller rink. You all have
I'm looking though. Through
okay,
the window.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe so take off the bracelets or no.
Switch off the machine.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna turn off
I
the
was
machine.
like that's how the story ends badly.
Yeah.
We're just always frozen.
All right, good game guys. That's all. Thanks for stopping
That's all
by.
we have for you tonight.
4 kids inadvertently ended the world.
Yeah,
I mean-
Isabel will turn it off.
Okay. All right. So, Crystal, you have your face kind of pressed up against the glass and you're looking in and you see the whole scene unfold with the kid who's all of a sudden skating in the wrong direction and he goes straight into a dad that's just trying to come back from the bathroom and just unknowing. The guy Hertz just kind of like picks himself up and he's not really sure why he's near the actual roller rink when he doesn't have his shoes on and zombies playing in the background as you all walk away.
So is
What do
this
we do
really
now?
all? Is this all that was making the skates go fast? It wasn't like mechanical or aliens or anything. It was just extra.
What
fast?
is with you guys in like extra Toriestals or whatever? Like,
I mean, that's what created the loop, right? That's what I heard.
nah, like the military and government built that stuff. Do you even like
That's what
listen
they
in
want us
class?
to
want
believe.
you to believe. Yeah.
Oh,
You're
Believe in
both
man.
kind of dumb.
the
Thank you.
Just because you don't believe doesn't make us dumb.
Agree to like not agree.
I mean, it takes a pretty smart person to figure out how to stop time. And we did it.
With my thermos, which I will be taking, thank you. I snatch it.
I mean, there's no way that Isabel could prevent that.
Yeah. I am doing the responsible thing and holding on to this.
all right.
Joe nonchalantly slips the bracelet into her pocket.
Oh yeah, keep it brief.
Yep. You still might be needing those later. We will see how this all plays out. But so it's probably 8-9 o'clock at this point. So it's you all know it's probably time to just head in for the night. It's a Thursday, so you probably still have school tomorrow. So you all kind of head off in your own separate directions, or maybe walk with each other just to make sure everyone gets home safe. And
Yeah, I'll make sure Crystal gets where she's going. Back to the
Sure.
park.
You know, we should stick together. I heard Tammy got attacked by gremlins on her way home from the rink one night.
Gremlins.
And that's what she said they were.
Yeah.
Those aren't real.
What if
That's
they
where I
were
draw the
aliens
line.
pretending to be gremlins?
We should stay together.
And then like, yeah, again the killer clowns from outer space dropped down and Jason was there. Yeah, sure. And then Jaws came up in the middle of the desert.
okay.
Like a sarlacc?
Is Trimmers come
No,
out
like
yet?
the
I
shark.
don't think Trimmers came out yet.
It's 1990, I
Because
think.
you're like
That's
talking,
90s, isn't it?
'cause
Yeah.
you're like talking crazy.
You're talking
Yeah.
crazy.
If you all want to walk home together, it's fine. It's like whatever. But seriously,
I mean, we just
Thanks for
stopped
That's
time and you're
less than
calling us
candy.
crazy for talking about aliens.
I'll take some of
Probably
that
some-
candy.
it's just some weird government stuff. Like, jeez.
I also took some pizza. Does anybody want it?
No.
It's all pizza now.
Buck doesn't say anything, but very clearly wants a piece because he does feel his own stomach grumble, having only fed his sister.
Isabel
Thank you.
passes around.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, as all of you walk home, and I will say safely get back to your houses, you don't all live in the same neighborhood, but you're able to kind of finagle it where all of you have just a short little distance where you are walking alone if there is somebody who kind of branches off.
I'll know
Everyone
that
have...
Buck makes sure he's the one who gets home last. He'll walk
Okay.
everyone else home.
Sure.
No.
So, yeah, you all get home safely. Everyone goes to their own respective places, but Buck, when you come back to your house, you know that when you come home this late at night, a lot of times your dad will lock the front door, but will keep the door in between the garage and the rest of your house unlocked so that you can kind of just lift up the door, like the garage door, head in, and get safely inside.
Point of order. Just because my dad doesn't leave his room since the accident, but absolutely, I do that.
Yes. Yep. I'm sorry.
Because I know it's fine. I'm gonna just he'll go and start going through the garage.
So you're walking through your garage. You kind of get you're walking past like a car that just hasn't been touched in years since your dad doesn't really leave anymore. No one really bothered to get rid of it. It's kind of just been sitting there getting older and older. And you kind of, move around it. It's your usual path. You know that it's just usually there. And you're about to open the door to the rest of your house, where out of nowhere, the car engine roars to life. Just completely unexpectedly. You didn't even know the car could start anymore. And it's just for a brief second, but it's almost just like this. Like the sound of the car starting is a lot louder than you remember it being. It is like a roar to life. The lights turn on and all of that sort of stuff, and then it just goes back to being dead. Do you...
Aliens.
I feel like he pauses.
Okay.
And then it's like that happens, and it's just showing his face as he's like heavily breathing, and it shows he's grabbed just like one of his lacrosse sticks. Just quite quickly like whacks the car to see if it does anything again.
The car doesn't do anything. Although I guess the car does, the front door does open, but it's not the car doing it. It is someone stepping out of the driver's seat. The person kind of like does that thing where they like duck under so you don't really see their face right away. But when they do look up at you, it's almost like you're looking in a mirror. You are looking at almost an exact version of yourself right in front of you. Maybe he looks a little bit lankier than you do instead of kind of like the strong lacrosse build. He looks a little bit... I'm a big, strong lad.
Rapping.
Yeah. This version of you isn't a big, strong lad. He is kind of just... He's the same height, same everything, just... looks a little bit lankier, and he looks up and he has this shock of, who are you? Wait,
you?
I know who you are, but why are you?
Sorry, like, why are you? What? Sorry. Who are you, and why are you in my house? Aggressive back and forth.
Isn't this my house?
Nah, dude, like wrong house. And he's got the lacrosse stick, like definitely he's shifted his grip to be more baseball bat style. like he's about to he's about to slash somebody in the arms, even though technically that's a foul, but I don't care.
Whoa! No need for that. I am just as confused as you are.
Well, like, why don't you go be confused on the sidewalk? Cause like,
You're just gonna kick me out of my own house?
this is my house, dude. Like, for real. I would do it. Like, I don't care if you're like some weird multi-dimensional whatever. Like, you an alien? Cause like, shitty fucking alien.
He backs away from you, and is
Now
like,
Buck believes in aliens.
Yeah.
figures. Took him
Well-
long enough.
We all get there in our own ways.
In the dark when you're alone.
So he like backs away. He's like, whoa, it's okay. Ooh, what can I do to convince you I'm not an alien or something? Like last thing I knew, I was in my own house.
Well, yeah, like last thing I knew, I was in my own house, and then the car engine turned on, and now you're here. So like, pretty like.
Our engine? The car. And he kind of just looks at the car for a second, and he's like, that makes no sense. And he kind of just sits there for a second, and he's like, my neighbor was helping me, like, try to fix up the car so I could try to learn how to drive. Last thing I know, I was stepping on the gas because he was just doing something under the hood and wanted to see if it started again.
Is your neighbor like Doc?
Who's Doc?
Back to the Future, bro. Like, do you even watch movies?
No, I usually play more video games.
Nerd.
Well, what do you do then?
Not that. Like, downright the opposite. You're distracting me. You're doing some weird, like, Mac and me bullshit.
Dude, listen. I don't know how I got here, okay? But, like, if I knew how to go back, I would. Can I just try to start the car again? Like, if you don't, it seems you don't want me.
You know how to start the car? Pretty fucking alien. We're 14, bro.
I mean, there's an ignition, you turn it on. We're tall enough to reach the pedal, you know that. I mean, maybe you don't if you haven't tried to drive it.
It's weird, dude. Just go start the car. Whatever, gosh.
Okay. So he, again, is like, has his hands flayed out, like he doesn't have anything up his sleeves or anything. And he goes back into the car and he's like, he looks at the ignition, the keys are not in there. He's like, do you know where they are? Like, I can't start a car without keys.
I know my house, right? I know where my dad, like, he would like keep his keys kind of just
No,
inside the.
You've never
No.
been there before. Yeah, no, you know where your dad probably had they've probably been there for years.
He's still like looking at this fairly certain maybe demon creature. Like he stayed up late watching sci-fi movies before on the TV. They probably shouldn't have been allowed to rent, but his one of his teammates' older brother works at the Blockbuster, so he opens the door and like reaches over into like the jumble basket of keys and just like pulls them out and just drops a few that probably don't even go anywhere anymore, but you should probably open some lockbox or something, and just like gets the little foxtail key and chucks it over.
like goes to kind of catch it, and you can tell that he has good like hand-eye coordination, but he still kind of like fumbles it once it's actually in his hands. But he goes over to the car, he sits there and he turns the ignition. He puts the keys in the ignition, he turns the key, and the car doesn't do anything at all. It doesn't start, it hasn't started in years. So he
Like-
kind of just he like never closed the door back, so he kind of has one leg just outside of the car, and you kind of see him like throw up one of his hands like, what the heck? And then he just looks at you like, I don't know what to do here.
Away?
My house.
It's not your house, bro. Like, for real.
Is
You know, like, get your head checked.
he gets kind of like he gets frustrated for a second, and he kind of just like hits the steering wheel, and he's like, is Rose okay? How's Rose doing?
The fuck you talking about?
I'm just asking about my little sister, dude. It's
That is
fine.
my little sister you're talking about, and like I will beam you right in the up top.
Listen, don't act all high and mighty. I know how to use lacrosse stick too, okay? I'm a little rusty, but like, just put it down, okay?
Nah. I don't know what the hell you are, why you're talking about my sister, but like, just keep trying it, dude. I'm going too far east. Brooklyn Rage!
Just
There, I
with
got it
that
all out. You stop talking about my sister, alright? I don't know who you are, I don't know why you look like me, I don't know why your arm's so scrawny if you're supposed to look like me, but like,
So, just like, he's still sitting in the car, and he kind of like runs his hands over his face. It kind of cups his face a little bit. And he's like,
Something-
listen, the scrawny arms aren't my fault, okay? Looks like you made the lacrosse team, but like, not all of us got that lucky.
you mean not all of us?
I don't know. It seems like I'm you, but different somehow. I don't know.
It's just pop the top.
Okay. He goes to pop the top.
I look at the engine. Is this just like it's just I'll make a roll for it to try and see why this thing isn't
Yeah.
working because I want this guy out.
Yeah.
It's like hitting it with the lacrosse stick again.
So you can roll either tinker or calculate. Or I guess you
Tinker
can
or
also roll a
calculate.
mind. You can roll a mind comprehend if you'd like as well.
I'll roll a mind comprehend. That's 3
Sure.
dice.
Okay.
Oh no. Whoa, that one went wild. Oh, I stepped on it. Doesn't count. Nope.
Okay. He'll just stand up and he'll be like, just give me a second. And he'll look into the, he'll look under the hood and he's like, dude, you're missing a part. Do you not know how cars work? There's a piece that's supposed to go right there.
I don't drive a car. I'm 14.
Jeez. I guess having practice all the time definitely distracts you from these things.
Don't be dumb, dude.
No,
so
just it takes up time. I had time to learn how to do computery whatever after I messed up my ACL. I had extra time where I didn't get to go to practice or anything, so I learned how to do this stuff instead. You're missing a part.
Well, great. So, like, what? You gonna sit here out here in the car till we get it fixed? Cause
What, in the car? Fine, fine. He sees you already, like, he knows you're already mad. He's like, fine, yeah, whatever. Uh, yeah, if you can figure out how to get me back, I don't even know if that's the right word for it, but if you can figure it out, then yeah, I'll stay here, I guess.
well, good. I'll bring you like a pillow or something, blanket.
Thank you.
Weirdo. Go back inside, close the door, make sure I lock it for. And then
You'll hear from the other side of the door, like, he's not screaming loudly enough that your like your dad or your sister will be able to hear, but like, I'm gonna have to pee.
I'll bring a bottle then.
And he kind of just he'll just like get in the back seat and he'll lean up against one of the doors and kind of extend his legs out onto the rest of the bench in the back seat.
I'll go get him a pillow, a blanket, and
Okay.
some like one of the hot and ready meals that I usually make for Rose. I'll chuck it in the microwave while I'm going to the blanket closet, which I'm sure if someone was actually running this house would have a more proper name, but for right now it's just where you throw all the blankets and pillows.
Okay.
And so he grabs them and moves back out and all right, chucks the blanket and pillow in his general direction and then offers him the food. Just like, don't go all psycho killer. Que say.
Apparently you're locking the door anyway, so
Yeah, but like on the
even if I
neighborhood,
wanted
okay?
to.
Because like you look like me, so like try to keep like psycho stuff like minimum. If you phone home or whatever, just like let me know before you scoop the car.
He like he'll kind of like think about the fact that you said like, oh, because you look like me, like don't go all psycho killer, and the fact that you're making him stay out in the car. He makes that kind of look of like a, well, but you know, he just kind of jokingly, and he's like, I'm not going anywhere. Apparently this isn't my worlds. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not because you're like some DT stuff.
Do you know what part you're missing? Do you need me to describe it to you?
Tomorrow,
Okay.
I'm gonna come out this way. You don't talk to Rose. Comprende?
Okay. And he kind of just like closes his eyes and like leans his head up against the window and just kind of, it's conversation over, kind of.
I close the door and lock it, and then go and just like pace in my room for a little bit, and then to like I can't think about too much, so I just start doing push-ups and squats or something.
Okay.
And I pass out. That's where I got the anxious energy.
Sure. Does anyone else want to do anything else tonight, or are we gonna fast forward to tomorrow? Right now it's Thursday, so tomorrow will be Friday. You guys will still have school. If we don't want to do anything during school, we can kind of just fast forward through that because, you know, school is mundane and boring in this world anyway compared to the strange and fantastic, like there being $2. Maybe the strange and terrifying. But okay, yeah.
The tale of $2 when you can't rub dimes together.
All
That
right.
was really bad.
And then, Joe, do you want to do anything with that mixtape you were given, or not mixtape, but cassette?
Yeah, if I can sneak in past Earl, who is probably passed out right now anyway. I'll put on some headphones and jack it into it. Joe's a little leery.
Sorry, you said jacket. Are you wearing headphones, or are you like listening to it out loud?
Headphones.
Cool. Okay.
Headphones. That way, you know, she doesn't wake up anyone else in the house. She doesn't.
Sure.
She doesn't want to interact with anyone in there, as if she can help it.
Of course. So you have snuck past Earl a bunch of times. You know exactly what to do. I won't even have you roll for it. You know how to be quiet, and you get in with no problem. So you go to your go to the like wherever you, if you like your room, or if you feel more comfortable in the living room or whatever, like you go there and you put on your...
Joe would definitely go in her room and like put a chair under the door handle.
Perfect. Okay. So you are safely in your room and you put on these headphones. And you were told to look at track 3. Do you want to listen to like anything else on the tape, or are you just going straight for the one you were told to listen to?
Joe's got a bad feeling about this tape, so she's just gonna go straight to the one to listen to.
Sure. Yeah.
Figure out what's going on here as soon as possible.
Sure. So you turn on track 3. It is it kind of takes a second to get going, but once you kind of hear a few lines, you start to recognize it right away as Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. And at first you're a little confused because like the kid who gave this to you is also a fellow rocker. Like this song came out in the 70s. You're like, he's never heard the song before. Like he feels like this takes him to another place, but you try to let yourself just kind of relax into it, and you're like, okay, I mean, he told me to listen to it, like let's see what this is all about. And it goes through the, you know, the long opening and all that, and where you know that the words Stairway to Heaven are about to be sung, you have this moment of almost like a shiver of energy just like rushing through your entire body. And the words Stairway to Heaven, you don't actually hear them, because it almost feels like for a second, it feels like you just have this moment where it almost feels like your ears are just like you're just submerged in water for a second. Like it just, everything becomes muffled and you never actually hear Stairway to Heaven be said. And then from there on, you don't, the rest of it is still the instruments playing, it's the instrumental, but you don't really hear anything other than the sound of a dog barking in your trailer. And you don't have a dog.
Oh, we don't have a dog. So I would take off the headphones and listen, like to make sure that it's not inside the, you know, that the dog's not like just some random dog running loose around the trailer park.
Sure. So the second you take the headphones off, you have this weird moment of like almost feeling like you were ripped from some kind of a dream. And you don't hear a dog at all anymore.
Whoa. Let me put the headphones back on.
Okay. Do you start the song over again, or are you just listening where you left off?
I just listen where I left off.
Sure. So you put the headphones back on, and the words are back. You hear the rest of, it's a long song, so you still have plenty of time to kind of listen through it. You try to get back in that mindset of, like relaxing and just easing back into it again, but whatever feeling you had at that point, it doesn't like hit you again. The only
So
thing go ahead.
Oh, go. Finish what you were saying. And then
No, it's good to hear what you react to this.
like, her instinct would be to immediately rewind the song and start it from the beginning again, to try to repeat the experiment.
Yeah. So once you start the song again, you have that same feeling of, as soon as Stairway to Heaven is supposed to be said, all of a sudden it just fades away and becomes garbled again. And you hear the dog. Again, it kind of sounds like it's coming from inside the apartment, or really close to the trailer, or inside or really close by. Basically, you can't really pinpoint it exactly.
And it's just like barking or yipping. It's not like howling or in pain or anything like that.
No, it's just kind of like, maybe, like someone rustled something outside and the dog was alerted to it.
And after I hear the dog again, am I like pulled back out like when I pull the headphones off, or does the feeling last?
So if you take the headphones back off again, you are going to feel that same feeling of being ripped from a dream.
Well, no, I'm asked like she's still got the headphones on, but once
Oh.
we've gotten back to the dog point, do I still feel like I'm submerged? Is there more, or
Yeah, so
am
if you
describing it?
keep the headphones on and you're still listening, you will hear the dog barking. You will kind of have that weird feeling, but you can move around. It's just kind of like, it just sounds like the song is a little bit different than you're used to, kind of thing, but like, you're not stuck or anything like that. It's just like, sounds like it's a different version of the song than you remember.
Okay. So weird. And we don't have to go through it, but Joe will like replay the song 4 more times just to make sure it keeps happening.
Yeah, sure. So if you start the song from the beginning, it does the same thing each time. Do you want to roll?
One time she'll try to fast forward to just the point where it started before, just to see if the whole song has to play or if it's just that particular part.
Sure. So if you fast forward to that part, it won't be the same thing.
Okay, it just plays like the normal song.
Actually, if you fast forward the song, could you give me a mind comprehend roll?
Mm-hmm. That's just straight up not super great.
Oh no.
No, I failed.
Okay. Okay. So when you fast forward and just get to the part that things kind of turn jumbled, you do hear when it says Stairway to Heaven, it doesn't sound like it says the word heaven. It sounds like it says something a little different, but you can't really make it out.
It's just outside the edge of comprehension.
Exactly. So it's like you can hear it clearly that time. It doesn't feel like it's like kind of fading away, but that one word where they usually say heaven just like doesn't sound right. It almost sounds like it has like another syllable added to it, like almost like they said like something 7 instead of heaven, or something weird, but you can't exactly figure it out.
Stairway to 7-Eleven.
Yep, you figured out how to get your favorite slushie.
That's so weird. And she, but it's getting pretty late at this point because she's been
Mhm.
listening to like 47 minutes of Stairway.
Yeah, it's a very long song. Um,
So she's gonna make a mental note. She's keeping the tape, and like her first thought is, I have to show Isabel this, or
sure.
Isabel must be aware of this.
Okay. All right.
My respect for Skeeter has gone up like 2 notches. Like he's like 2 notches above pure apathy at this point.
Maybe you'll finally start a band with him like he's always wanted.
Something interesting.
All right. So the rest of the night passes pretty uneventfully for everybody. Stairway to Heaven is played a lot. There's a second Buck just trying to sleep in the car at Buck's place. All of you have a
Alternative
new
life
pair
path,
of
Buck.
huh?
Alternative life path, Buck.
Yeah. We can call him like Puck or something like that, so it's not like Buck
Yeah.
and Buck. But yeah, so you all wake up the next morning. You have school. Again, same mundane homework. Remember to do this over the weekend. There's this project due on this day. Unless anyone wants to do anything at school, we'll kind of fast forward to
Isabel reminds one of her teachers that they were supposed to have a quiz today.
No,
Isabel's that
Also
one.
no.
Oh, actually, wait. Turk, I forgot. Did you wanted Buck to talk to you or Puck to talk to you in the morning?
Yeah, I just want to know what car part to look into getting.
Okay. So he will respect your request to not talk to Rose. Although you can tell that he's sad about it. You know, he loves his sister too, and he for one reason or another, apparently that's not his sister, but he doesn't really grasp that. He's just sad. But he'll point to a part in the car, and he's like, so it's supposed to look like, one second. So there's supposed to be like these 3, I don't know, tube things, like long clear tubes or something like that. It's supposed to be right here, but like, let me tell you, I don't think you can. My neighbor works for the Loop. He helped me out with that car and helped me juice it up a little bit. I don't think he got that from a regular store.
Well, like I'll still look for it or whatever. So yeah,
I'm just saying.
yeah. It's just saying you're like stuck with us or whatever. Fine. I don't care what you do. Just don't go in the house, okay? Or do.
No, he's not thinking about going in the house. But he is trying to tell you that if you go to a regular store, you're not going to be able to find the tech that is in the car engine that he's thinking of.
No, I gathered. I just,
Yeah.
you know.
He's just he's just frustrated that he's kind of just being confined to this space and just letting you do it because he'd want to help, but he knows you're not going to go for that.
Well, still. I'll note his response before heading to school.
Okay. So, like I said, we'll have school go kind of mundane, normal. Do all of you usually like meet up at your hideout or anything? Do you usually have like a plan to see each other throughout the day? Buck, do you want to tell anybody that there's a second version of yourself?
Not if I don't have to.
Okay.
It's obviously this will all
I
be
feel
resolved
like-
quickly.
Yes. You can just wish him away. You just need to find a genie.
No, I don't tell anyone.
I feel like the whole group, like on Friday afternoons after school, would just kind of meet in the hangout, right?
Yeah.
Just sort
Yeah.
of go there.
We got a plan for our Saturday night all-nighter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we stole enough candy. It's probably Crystal's probably ate it all.
We're gonna be like, oh, I mean, she ate a lot of it, but she is only 10, so 3 candy bars in, she had a sugar crash. So
So we at least have the
Frank was
snacks.
Sid having to explain the discrepancy in the stock at the end of the night.
yeah,
Exactly. That's what happens when the manager's not there.
Yeah.
there you go.
And when Sid's a jerk. So,
That's right.
Big meanie.
all right.
He'll be working
So,
at the 7-Eleven next.
so you all get through school. You decide to meet up at your usual spot in your hideout. Do any of you want to describe the hideout? Kind of.
The hideout is in a military graveyard where they send all the old things they don't like to die, specifically because this town used to have a pretty robust air base. Pretty much really the whole reason for this, aside before it became the site of the loop. It, as such, has a bunch of stuff from World War II, including what I went to, the hideout, which is a hollowed out, mostly, aside from some seats and some old equipment that obviously no longer works.
Stuff we
made in-
dragged up in there.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
B-52 Flying Fortress bomber. You have to crawl in through the bottom turret, which now has a bit of a ladder associated with it. Though Buck is crazy about the design on the ladder, but it's whatever. It's fine. Yeah, it's got like a lot of cool little views to the sky, plenty of open air, and just a lot of room to sit and hang out in for kids, because kids are smaller than adults, and adults fit in pretty well to a B-52 Flying Fortress. Big plane.
Okay. So all of you enter into your plane hideout, and it's been a typical Friday, so if you guys have anything you want to talk about or anything like that, or I don't know, if all of you just do your own thing in your hideout, and just every once in a while, like, one of you will be like, oh, I heard this the other day.
All right, so we have to plan for this all-nighter tomorrow night. I can bring some blankets and some hot chocolate. I don't know if we need a telescope.
If you have the astronomy book, you can roll a mind comprehend, and it'll probably tell you in there the best way to see it. It's a book about astronomy, so
She has definitely read it. 1 success.
sure. Yeah, it'll tell you that it usually happens for about 20 minutes or so right near the start of sunrise on a Sunday morning. Like I said, a lot of people usually try to sleep in on Sundays, so that's why it's kind of seems like it's a new discovery at this point. But they do say that if you look through the telescope, if you do choose to use a telescope, it still looks very cool. Even if you don't, it's a bunch of different hues and it looks very pretty. But if you do decide to look through a telescope, it like almost seems like you're looking into different worlds.
Telescope for sure.
Yeah, it's very cool. There was one person who wrote a story about like seeing some random dude in like this suburb area just kind of mowing his lawn on a Sunday morning, and it's like it just looks peaceful. You know, it was.
This is alien stuff right here.
Hasn't all of this been aliens all along? We blame it on the loop, but it's basically aliens.
It's aliens.
The real aliens were the friends we made along the way.
There you go.
Buck, did you bring that the thermos?
Yeah, I kept that in my bag.
Can I take a look at it? I want to see if maybe I can figure out if my dad might have the power source. Maybe it can last longer.
Sure, yeah, whatever.
Hey guys, I got something I think you should all hear. Unfold kit, where I set him down and press the button, he unfolds himself, and pop the tape in, rewind at the beginning. This time it's just coming out of the speakers built into his chest.
Sure.
And this is gonna be a little weird.
Okay.
Okay.
Not my song. I know it's old and lame, but
So, out of the speakers, all of you hear the start to Stairway to Heaven. If you think your characters wouldn't know it, then it's just a really nice opening melody, and the words take a little while to get started, but you just kind of vibe to it. If you do recognize it, you might even kind of be wondering, like, what's so important about this sort of thing.
Crystal's singing along. I feel like she knows
Yeah.
Zeppelin.
it's the slow dance song from 1975 to 1992.
That's a long slow dance.
That is a long, slow dance.
Okay.
You know what? It takes a long time for the youngins to fall in love. They need that whole time.
I guess so.
Thanks for the Holy Ghost.
Is that what 7 Minutes in Heaven is? So I think I'm gonna have all of you roll just mind. Just a base mind, so whatever your mind score is, just roll that number of dice.
At 2 5s.
What's up? Yeah, I got 2 5s too, but also
Aw.
1 6.
Okay.
So I did get 1 6.
Okay. No.
2-6.
Okay. So that was Taylor and Crystal and Isabel who both got them, right? Yeah. So when the two of you are listening to this song, it gets to the part where, Crystal, you would know that it starts to say Stairway to Heaven. And you both kind of have this feeling like you're trying to just relax and like let the song take you, like if you're singing along or if you don't know it and you're kind of just like, oh, this is nice. And both of you feel as if the words just kind of muffle the second that you hear where Stairway to Heaven should be.
Crystal's singing it very off key and then just stops and just fully listening when it's not matching what she's saying.
Okay.
Stairway to Heaven. Huh?
How does Isabel react?
I don't think Isabel was singing it because she doesn't really listen to music, so she doesn't really know this song. So she just thinks it's part of the song, but obviously it's muffled and it shouldn't be, but she's just trying to understand what the song is.
So when the two of you kind of look around, the music is still playing. You still kind of feel that like sense of it's a little bit muffled, but it's still like audibly Stairway to Heaven. But it's just the two of you right now.
Like,
You're out in this hideout, and it seems like it took you to a different place where Buck and Joe aren't. And
What
the
the
music is still playing. It almost is like Kit is kind of still with you guys. Like the music, like you can still hear the music basically. But yeah, no, Kit is without Joe.
where's Chip?
Oh, Chip and Nicodemus came with you guys. Don't worry. They are part of you. That's fine.
Knows how the song.
Do you two want to do anything?
Did
they leave?
I didn't see them leave. I didn't hear them leave. Are there outside sounds? Is this kind of like when time stopped and like everything went silent?
If you do a brief look outside, everything kind of still looks the same. You don't notice any like weird anomalies or anything.
It's not like what happened last night. But where did they go? And why are we still here?
Are we in like a different dimension, like the sky thing?
We could be. I don't have a telescope with me.
Because isn't it like, I don't know, in that theory where like everything's all smushed together and then sometimes you could go like, oops, accidentally scoot over a foot in dimensional space and then you're like a whole different place and a whole different person with a whole different everything? Oh god, my grandma's gonna be so worried if I'm in a different dimension.
So, Isabel, you went to check on Chip when you first realized you were in a different place. And like Chip is fine, everything is great, but you do notice that Chip's name tag looks a little different on its collar. Instead of it saying Chip, it says Lumiere.
Alt Chip.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Crystal, I think we are in a different place. This is not my dog's name. This is my dog.
I pick up Nicodemus. Does he still look the same?
Nicodemus still looks the same. He doesn't have a collar or anything like that, right?
No, he
But
swerved out of him.
He looks the same for the most part, but his like kind of the muzzle around his face just looks like a little bit darker than you remember. Like it's nothing like really crazy and awestruck, but like you can tell he looks a little different than you remember. Like his just different coloring.
Got a hair dye.
So do you think we were sent to a different dimension? I mean, obviously we were, but are we stuck here?
I wanna like stand up and try to like look out the like window of the plane and see if the outside still looks the same.
So you're in a giant plane graveyard. There's not really too many things that look different. There's still a lot of old airplanes.
I'm like all
outside.
Russian tech now. We should
Yeah.
sound like
Yeah.
super random person.
You're all down planes from a war that all of you don't even remember, and you're like, oh no.
The whole Cuba thing went south, huh?
Oh no. But I will say too that did you guys have any like decorations around the hideout? Like, you come here a lot. Did you
Oh,
have
for
any?
sure. That's
Yeah.
probably how they found out about me, was I just kept leaving little things.
Okay. When you look around this area right now, just little things that have been left where like you thought that you left this. It's just a little bit of a different version, or you know, like instead of like some of like, especially if Isabel ever left any books here, like kind of having little things on the just to kind of have in the hideout too, like it'll just be a little different and like
Okay. Isabel has her diary hidden
okay,
in the hideout.
sure.
And so she made this like makeshift like armoire that's just full of books. But the back paneling has just like a little bit of a false bag. And she's gonna go over to it, pull out it just to see if the armoire is even still there.
I pretend to not look so I can feign that I still don't know where it is, but I definitely know that it's hidden there.
Yeah, so you open your diary and you kind of flip through it, and you know, some of the stuff is pretty similar. You're talking about homework sometimes. You're talking about
Crushes.
yeah, but
Is it still Joe?
the last well, here's the thing.
It's JOE
Oh,
this
no,
time,
it's-
though.
Oh no! This dimension sucks.
The last page is an entry where you just really excitedly write that you and Joe hugged. And it never happened in the dimension that you have been in so far.
You're
But
really
it's like this
flustered.
huge, it's just like this huge lettering on one big page, and you know that you don't remember this moment.
What does your diary say? I mean, that random book.
Nothing.
Okay.
Just things that didn't actually happen.
How do you know?
Things that I never experienced.
Okay.
That I'm aware of.
Turn off the music? Is that how we stop it? Because I still hear it and it's real weird.
Song. Crystal,
It's a long song.
it's coming to an end though, I promise. I have one more thing and then it's gonna come to an end. For the sake of time, because I'm already looking at the time and I'm realizing that one of the encounters I have probably might not happen. I'm gonna have Crystal, I'm gonna have you roll a mind investigate, or yeah, I think a mind investigate I think would work well right now.
Yes, please. That is 6. That's a lot of low numbers. There's 1 6. And
Okay.
all of the others are 1s or 2s.
Okay. Your eyes are drawn to this piece of tech that you are convinced is probably alien. Because, you know, that's just the sort of stuff that you probably were keeping an eye out for anyway. Nicodemus doesn't look too much different, but this piece of tech, you know, you have never seen it before. It kind of looks like it has these 3 like vials or tubes that are connected, and it's all kind of fit into this one kind of square. And it looks like it's kind of like faintly lit, like almost kind of like neon tubing kind of thing is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of vaguely glowing, but it's not really that bright. But it did catch your eye because it you know, it was still kind of brighter than some of the surroundings.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go over and kind of like, I don't know if it's pick upable, but like kind of look around and be like, Okay, so the downside of alien technology is there's not a lot of things about it. Can you look at this?
Yeah, I'll look at the big glow sticks.
Mhm. If I had to guess, it would be not Martian. Martian's usually sturdier.
Maybe
Planet
it's like
X, at
Saturn
least.
tech. Maybe Saturn tech.
Saturn, maybe. It usually doesn't make it here, but maybe.
I will take
Oh.
I'll take a look at these things.
Yeah, so if you
Does
want to
it
roll
look-
another
Does it look
calculate.
like what's in my thing? Did the time stop cylinder come with me? Because I was
No.
holding it.
Oh,
If
that's right,
you, I think Buck had it.
He handed it to me because I asked
Oh.
for it.
Yeah, if you you have it.
Are you sure you want
That
to stop
looks
time
similar?
and interdimensional
I'm
stairway
not
to heaven?
stopping time. I want to know if it looks similar to what's inside. Oh, I do. That's good. Two sixes.
You look at this right away, and the tubes look longer than the ones that would fit in the case that you have. So it like whatever you have is maybe like a smaller version of it, or maybe like just less powered, I guess, kind of thing.
If this can stop time, and that looks kind of like the same power source, but it's bigger, maybe that's
Stop
how
time for
we can.
longer.
Maybe not for longer, but can shift us to different dimensions.
Do you
So
think this
instead of-
causes the crack in the sky?
It might.
As you are holding both the flask and kind of like have this new piece of tech kind of in your lap trying to figure it out, you hear kind of the last final notes of Stairway to Heaven. And before you head back,
I've just been like really rocking, but like hadn't realized the whole time. I'm just like, oh.
before we have you two head back, Joe and Buck, could both of you roll me a mind comprehend?
And then jump stat, you know that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I got 2 fixes though.
Good.
2 out of 2.
All right. Are you're rolling dice too? Yes.
What? Oh, sorry. I thought I was still in the other dimension.
No, I transitioned back to you and Joe
Oh.
and asked for a mind comprehend.
Oh my god, I got 6.
Nice. Okay.
I only have 3 dice.
So both of you are still in this dimension. Crystal and Isabel are still there, but they seem like they're very just like zoned out and just really enjoying the music. Like you can't really get them out of it just seems like they're in a good headspace. You don't really want to mess with them, but they're still there. Because both of you got successes, this time you are able to hear that the lyrics, instead of saying Stairway to Heaven, it says Stairway to H7. And Joe, because you got two successes, you like kind of vaguely remember this one conversation where Crystal was like really excitedly talking about something, and like you almost kind of, you don't remember exactly what she was saying, but she was talking about aliens and like traveling dimensions and all this sort of like alien tech, and you're not sure that that might not be like how dimensions are labeled. Like, maybe that's just
Like we're in like G14 and
yeah, maybe
another one is H7.
maybe that's
Yeah.
where Isabel
Oh,
and Crystal
That's
are.
a
Kind of.
miss for me.
Okay.
217
Well, I
is a
mean-
hit though.
Huh?
217's a hit, and you sunk my
Battleship.
All right.
Nine?
And as you guys are you're kind of realizing this, it's the last time that it says Stairway to Heaven and or Stairway to H7 in the song, and Crystal and Isabel kind of wake up, and you don't really know how, but like Isabel has something on her lap that she didn't before. But you know, like maybe she just was playing around with things and you didn't really realize she picked something up. I don't know.
I mean, I imagine.
You'll realize real quick because I'm like, oh my god, as soon as I come to.
Like, I would imagine we'd have a fairly accurate inventory of everything that's in here, and like, it's
Yeah,
clearly not
you've
something
never
that was
seen
here
that
before.
I have to listen to Stairway to Heaven in the
You
background
guys
now.
okay? Did you hear like the weird? Did you hear a dog barking or anything?
Mm,
No,
no,
but we were in a different dimension.
we were.
Like
It's
y'all
like-
weren't there, but like some things were slightly different. And then Chip wasn't Chip, but Nicodemus was kind of Nicodemus. He just went to the salon, but like, it's wild.
And you found those glow sticks.
Oh yeah, that. I was like point to what Isabella's holding.
Kinda
I'm
looks like the
no
inside of the
expert.
thermos.
Yeah, I think Isabella makes a good point. It might be tech from Saturn, and if that's true, maybe that's what's causing the rip in the sky and all the different dimensions happening.
Well, I've last night when I listened to the song, I couldn't quite know what it was saying, but I heard it replaced the word heaven. It's G7.
H7.
I got my battleship hits wrong.
Missed.
Said H7. So I wonder if that's maybe the name of the dimension. you were in.
Probably.
Where we went?
So I read a lot of like things. I get my brother to like print out, then go and find all sorts of anything to alien rise. And a lot of times they'll just call like, because I guess the planets aren't really local. They just call them and then they number them and letter them and stuff. So maybe.
Well, H7's a stupid reality. Didn't make the lacrosse team there.
What?
I'm sorry.
How'd you know? I didn't see any lacrosse stuff on the plane, so.
Yeah, got some.
I don't know. I think my life's going pretty good over an H7.
Why?
Much
How
bigger
do you?
than
Were
Mary
you
J.
there? We
H7.
didn't see you.
No, just I don't know.
Hey guys, what if we're not friends on H7? That would be really bad.
You two, you and Isabel and Crystal do both know that both of you are friends because both of you saw some of your own stuff on that plane.
No, Joe was mentioned. So.
And Joe, so Kit did make it to the other dimension. You don't remember seeing any lacrosse stuff, like you said. But you did kind of like see a poster or two of different like an Atari game kind of thing that you've like never really seen before. Like none of you have a system. And like it was weird. You don't really know who it belongs to, but
Fuck. This. I don't know about another dimension and you not being in lacrosse and like because I didn't see you there when we were there looking around and stuff, and
Fine,
been
come
avoiding
on.
us for a couple of days.
Come on. Go to my house.
Ooh. Never invite us over, okay?
And we'll like you can just quickly cut to everyone at the garage door before he opens it. All right, you can't freak out. You freak out.
If there's an alien in there, I cannot promise anything.
Not an alien, just a loser.
Be ready.
And
I'm not going-
I mean,
I open it up and I assume Puck's in there, or Huck. That's a
Stuck. Second
So
Yup.
Puck Puck is kind of just like chilling on the hood of the car at this point. Like he's been locked in a garage all day. So he's bored. So he's just kind of like on the hood of the garage or on the hood of the car. And he was definitely just like zoning out or something. But the second he hears the garage door open, he's like, did you get it? And he like doesn't even have it like you don't even have it fully opened yet. He's already like trying to get news.
Nah, I don't know where your freaky car parts are. Okay.
there's two of you.
Nah. Dude's a different. Not me.
Do you like video games?
Yeah. Is it that obvious?
Kinda, but no. Huh.
How and then once the garage door is totally open, Isabel, do you have the new piece of tech in your hands, or did you like put it in your purse?
Probably not in my bag because that
Okay.
is where Chip is, and
Right.
accidents do happen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Which I'm surprised that you
probably-
have your books in there, but
There, see, those are books just so that Chip has space. So like
a
not
little
everything is
platform to
tumbling.
sit on.
Yeah, like so like everything's not like tumbling on top of him.
okay.
Those aren't the good books.
Just the backup books in case you run out of finish the book you're reading.
Yeah, they're usually the books she's already read, so she doesn't really. If they're not good enough to read again, those are the ones that.
Gotcha.
So she probably is carrying it.
So Puck will kind of be like mid-sentence, like how did you what? And like again, he should be surprised. He's literally showed up in another version of his house. It's been a weird day for him. But then his eyes will go directly to the thing in your hands. And he's like, "Wait, you found it.
What?
Where did you
What is it? What is this?
Shit, get the hood open. Let's get you back where the freak you came from.
What?
Buck, don't you have questions?
No. Do you?
I have so many questions.
Well, then get out of the garage. We gotta put this guy back home where he belongs.
Come on,
You could
hold
do
on.
some like really fun like Parent Trap stuff or something. You got a twin all of a sudden. You know,
It's not my twin.
I'm so sorry. You know how much crap you can get into? It'd be so much fun.
And he plays video games and works on cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen to Joe.
Puck is kind of standing there like knowing full well that he's not wanted in like his own life, so he's kind like Buck's life but his own life. And he's not gonna lie, he wishes he was from the world where he made the lacrosse team, and like all of you, like he's friends with all of you in the other, you know, where he's from. So like he's kind of just like, this seems normal, but like
Think about it, Buck. He could do all your schoolwork and you could just play the sports.
Nah, because he's weird. The fact that the rest of you are weird.
What are
doesn't make
we
this okay.
like in the other? Are we like, do we look like this? Are they a thing?
oh, is that? He'll kind of look at Joe and Isabel and be like, turn to Crystal like, is that already? That's not known yet.
No, not yet. Well, To everyone
I'll let
except for
them
them. I'm
figure it
10
out.
and I get it.
I'll let them figure it out for themselves. Um. Well, I mean, Isabel still loves to read, and Joe, your music, you have this band with like this whole awesome band with this dude named Skeet. And oh man, what are the rest of their names? You have a singer, I don't remember her name. She's just like, I feel like I don't even remember seeing her around school. I think she was from out of town, maybe. But you have a whole like a whole thing going. It's awesome. And I'm blanking for a second. Scarlet. No, not Scarlet. It's Crystal. Jeez, where did that? Sorry.
That's my grandma's name now.
That's age 7, Crystal.
Yeah.
And yeah, Crystal, you have found so much cool stuff. Like I think you might have been the one to help me find this piece. That like I don't even remember now. It's all kind of blurring together because now I'm just confused. I've stayed in this garage for so long. Like you just have all of this tech. Your brother is like doing some cool stuff with Nicodemus. He like his nose got a little like it almost looks like a little tan kind of, right? Because like your brother was kind of, I don't know. Your brother, you were telling me something that about your brother, but I don't remember exactly what it was. But Nicodemus
Just pick up
probably.
Nicodemus. I'll never let him mess with you.
Oh, you think that?
I think.
But yeah, all of you are awesome. I'm kind of the loser of the group, I guess, in my world. Or at least I
See?
feel like I
It's
am
the
anyway.
worst.
Listen,
Sure, you're not a loser. Buck
I
from
just-
another dimension.
I hurt myself before lacrosse tryouts, and I just haven't been able to make the team since. I fell so far behind, and like you guys have been, you all have been great. Like all of you have such cool things figured out in both dimensions, it seems. Even Buck seems to have it all figured out. He seems very sure-headed, but confident.
One way to say it.
Not the word I was thinking of.
Well, yeah, if you want to go home, let's get you home. I don't.
I mean,
Oh, no.
I know I would miss our Buck. I'm sure the other us's would miss you. You just stuck around here.
Yeah.
Curiosity.
Yeah, I would. I mean, you guys are still really cool, but I guess I should get back. I mean, I doubt this version of me even has an Atari in his room. At least I have that.
Hey, out of curiosity, does where you're from have weird things happening in the sky on Sunday morning?
Wakes up early on Sunday mornings.
Right?
For homework, I get extra credit.
I'm
I
just going to
usually
stay
sneak
up. I
out
got a lot
through
of candy.
I sneak out through the window and practice bass out in the desert.
But you know what? Maybe this Sunday you can get your lunch crew and we can have our lunch crew. Maybe we'll
What
get
if-
to see each other.
Yeah, what if we go? Okay, you do it, then we do it, and then we'll play Stairway to H Heaven at the same time. Maybe not at the same time, because then you'd come to our dimension, we come to your dimension. We'll just do it, and then we'll be in yours, and then we can all have like I don't know.
Or we fix the car
We can have-
now.
Sunday morning brunch.
No, that's part of it. Brunch. My
Buck is
grandma
laser
loves
focused on
brunch.
that car.
Hey, like we fix the car and he goes home and
Yeah.
gets to go see his family again. So like maybe just do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but then Sunday we listen to Stairway to Heaven and I'll have sunrise brunch. My grandma has brunch. She hosts it every Sunday with all of her old ladies from bingo, and there's a lot of orange juice, so I'll grab some.
Sounds good to
I-
me.
I
I'll
can
have
bring
to
easy
see if
cheese.
we can have the same fixins over there.
Give me the car parts.
I had to interrupt out of context here. Stairway to Heaven ended and Freebird started, so it's giving me all the really long songs.
It's like, oh, you really like this 7-minute one? Well, here's another.
I'll
Here
give,
to
I'll
fight
give,
War and Peace. Here's Crime and Punishment.
I'll give our buck the tech.
Okay.
I point the other guy. You know how to fix cars, right? Come on, let's get this done.
Yeah, okay. Jeez. And he like starts fiddling around with the car, kind of getting everything so that new piece kind of fits in. And the second that it kind of like is connected properly and clicks into place, you do kind of see that the tubing kind of glows a little bit brighter. So you know that it looks like it's working. And he goes to start the car. And he kind of makes a joke about Stairway to Heaven, like the fact that you guys were talking about it. He's like, I think that was the song that I was playing when all this happened. And he'll get in the car, he'll kind of wait for a second, and he'll like kind of lean out the car to look at Buck, and he's like, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't know this was gonna happen. All right, I didn't mean to freak you out. This is just some weird thing from the loop, I guess.
The loop has aliens.
Yeah, I mean,
Gremlins.
you guys have
Well,
okay, so you guys have
well,
aliens. I think I don't know. I'm having trouble keeping these worlds together. And then he'll kind of start the
Please say
ignition.
it's not Bigfoot. If other me believes in Bigfoot,
No, other you still believes in aliens. Other you just
Is
kind
an
of like
alien?
other you kind of also just like collaborates with your brother a little bit more. Like you like aliens, but you also kind of like get the tech aspect of it and like know that those two sometimes can go hand in hand because like aliens have cool tech. So like you still believe in aliens.
we're not there yet in this dimension.
Well, I guess if this has taught me anything, then kind of all of us seem like we're gonna have our own different paths, and I'll head back to mine. So, thanks for helping out, guys. And he will start the car. It roars to life, and you'll hear him kind of just humming Stairway to Heaven as the car roars to life for this one kind of brief flash. The lights of the car turn on and flicker off, and the car's empty.
As all of the dramatics are going on, Isabel is standing next to Joe with an awkward side hug, and she's just like blushing. Be ready.
Joe
She
thinks that
doesn't have the
if
hair
Joe-
to cover it up.
if Joe thinks that Crystal and Buck aren't paying attention, she'll just do a quick peck on the cheek, and then like immediately behind the curtain of hair.
Yeah, I'm not paying
Okay.
attention because I just walk up to Buck, like reach really high to try to pat him on the back. I was like, I'm sorry your twin went away, but hey,
We'll see him for brunch. You look real upset about it.
Yeah, I'm real looking forward to loser brunch.
Look, Buck, he was cool. Just a different kind of cool than you.
You would say that, you nerd. Shakes his head, but it's definitely like a soft smile.
Hey, at least now you know what your life would be like if you didn't play lacrosse.
Yeah, it fucking suck.
I don't know.
You'd
I
have a
heard about
car.
they have yeah, you can have a car. But also I heard there's like competitions for video games where you win a shit ton of money. So
Mm.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Brawl's
well.
the only game I need.
You know,
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. Sorry if you guys are. I got distracted messaging for a second.
uh, hey, Sunday night maybe we should all go to the arcade. Like all this talk about video games has me jonesing for some Kong.
Ooh, I could do some Pac-Man.
Maybe.
I scored Hubert.
Buck, they
Well-
might have like a like one of those batting cages games.
Basketball
hit-
ones.
Yeah.
They have one where you punch a punching bag and see how hard you can hit it.
Or the one where you go like
You
this
said
with
maybe,
a
okay?
hammer.
You nerds, just like I said maybe, so
You-
just take the
You
win.
know you want to come.
Take the
You
win.
want to hang out with us. You like us. You can't deny it anymore.
I could probably throw you back into the street from here.
Uh-huh.
All right. Tell you what, you all line up here and I'll give you an answer. And if you all willing to go along, he just throws down the garage door between the two of you. And then you hear, I'll see you Sunday, losers.
Good night, right? You're all staying up late?
Saturday, shit. Sorry, Saturday.
Okay. Well, seeing that it is kind of nearing time to end, I'll let everyone have one nice little wrap-up scene of all of you joining up together. Would you be going to your hideout for this? Kind of having like an open sky and
I think that's where it's.
I feel like
the
there's a
dark
turret
of-
on top of that we could kind of peek out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of you get together, you have your snacks planned, you probably all have like a blanket because it's still, it's not gonna be
A
cold
desert.
in the
It's
morning.
a
but,
desert. It gets
you
cold
know,
at night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll still, you'll want to keep warm, you'll be bundled up. All of you will meet up and walk together to your hideout. You'll find a good vantage point to set up your telescope and all have your blankets kind of laid out so you can do some gazing. And by the time you get there and you get everything set up, there's a few more minutes until sunrise. And when you start to see the colors of the sky kind of waking up and you see some pinks and orangey yellows, there is a moment where like the sun almost you swear it almost feels like the sun just got in your eyes for a second, and the next thing you know it just looks like the sky is just cracked and you see these little hues in each little section of it. And just when you're looking at it with the naked eye, you don't really see anything too different about it. It looks like a very cool sunset. It looks like just these pretty little slivers of light and like a pastel-y colors. But do any of you look through the telescope?
I mean, I let Isabel go through first, but I am like eagerly waiting.
Isabel actually lets Crystal look because it's not that
I
long.
say like this. It's not binoculars, but
And if any of you think that you have binoculars too, they'd probably work as well if we want to say that some of you had binoculars. because it doesn't last for too long. I want to make sure basically all of you get like a nice little wrap-up scene of looking through and having this nice little picnic. So
Yeah, because I think what Isabel does is she gets the telescope in position so she sees like just a split second so that it's in the right spot, and lets Crystal look into it, and then Isabel runs down inside the cockpit, grabs her diary, and on the last blank page, in big scrolling letters, is "Joe kissed me, and like hearts, and then she closes it up and puts it away real quick before running back up.
Adorable.
So Crystal, when you look through, you kind of look around for a little bit, and slowly but surely you find the little sliver of the dimension that Puck and all of you alternate pals are all kind of just they look like they didn't bring a telescope. Some of them do have binoculars, and they're kind of just like laying back and kind of looking up at the sky. But there'll be a moment where you know that one of them has seen you, because all of a sudden all of their all of their binoculars just like snap to the same place in the sky.
Yeah.
And one of them gives a little wave.
I cheers with my orange juice because I definitely asked my grandma for her brunch orange juice, and she just like gave me a bottle of orange juice. She's like, "You don't need my brunch orange juice," and I was like, "Okay." Like,
Randy turns up.
cheersing.
And you're too young for that. We're not doing that here.
Earl drinks all the time.
I mean, you could probably sneak some alcohol if you wanted to, but it'll be like one of those things where, like, when you're a little kid and you get like a tiny little shot of it, and you all share like an entire bottle of like something which is a tiny, I don't know, maybe I
Yeah.
had a lame childhood. I always just had like my friend who had like the Gatorade bottle with like one little tiny splash of vodka, and it was like
Yeah.
spiked.
It'll burn
And
so
it
bad
lasts
you
all
never wanna
night for
touch it
4
again.
people. Yeah.
But if all of you want to do one final little epilogue kind of thing where you all get to look through the telescope or through binoculars, and you get to see this other version of yourself in a world that seems so close to yours, but just one ripple changed something small. So if all of you want to kind of just do a little, like, how are you feeling in this moment? What are you doing? Like, how do you react, kind of thing? If we want to start with, let's just jump straight to Turk.
Can I
Throw off
go
the
last?
entire- Nope. If you don't have anything ready, I can.
No,
Yeah.
I have something ready, but I want to go last.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh,
Does
it's
anyone
good
want to
then.
go first?
Yeah.
Need y'all to know that Freebird is just now ending. Sorry, go on. We're in the very long, just a lot of symbols that's been going on for 30 seconds. We're nearly there.
All right.
I think Joe
how about-
would look
yeah.
through her like her binoculars, and she would see herself, but not in the trailer park, like in an actual house in town. And instead of Earl lurking around in the background, it's like her real father. And like she would like Isabel would might notice like just a rapid intake of breath as like she just clamps down and pull herself together, but then a little uncharacteristic smile curls up around her face. And then she squeezes Isabel's hand.
He's back. Isabel's kind of like just in awe, like almost like not like shock, but like in awe that there are, knowing that her and Crystal were right, that there are other dimensions out there, and some of the stories that her dad has told her that she thought were just him going insane for being in the basement for so long, that some of these things could actually be true, and some of the stories that are out there can actually be true. So now she's on more of a manhunt. There are aliens. We will find these aliens. We need to find a way into the loop.
Hey, Area 51 is in Nevada, so
Whoever gets their driver's license first.
hey, things from the flood lets you guys be above 16.
There you go.
Maybe
Crystal,
Turk will get that car running.
figure out how to actually drive it now instead of just using it as a dimension hopper.
Bed and breakfast.
Oh yeah. Crystal, what how does your character feel right now? And
Yeah, I think after like waving and seeing Puck's version of us, I'll kind of like look around and probably like finds one, like stops for a little bit on one in which like her brother and hers do seem to have like relation. Like maybe there's a version where they're the ones like sitting out there like looking at it, and she's just kind of like all about it. And you know, I don't think it's as much of a like noticeable reaction or like a thing as Joe had, but just this kind of like, oh. And then I think just like walks over, and I don't know if like Buck is like sitting down, standing, or if maybe his like backpack's on the ground, but she's definitely like just stands really close. And like if you have like your jacket on the floor, she probably like lays down on it, like is very much like very clearly seeing like Buck is being much more the brotherly figure in like her life currently. And so she just like kind of like gets near and just enjoys the view.
So yeah, Buck doesn't really look into the alternative dimension too much. I mean, he'll like spare a glance to see what everyone's looking at with his own binoculars, while sitting up in the cockpit. But you know, like he doesn't need to delve too deep in that. That's a loser universe, like gross video games. I bet that kid streams now or something. Anyway, but what he does do is when he goes home, made sure everyone else got back because obviously it was like super late and you know weird stuff happens sometimes. He opens up the garage like he usually does and closes it, and that's when he feels into his pocket and like he's got the car keys, and he opens the car door and kind of just sits in the driver's seat. I mean, it doesn't obviously like everything else. It's just like he's a little short for it still somehow, but he can barely feel the pedals, and that's when he goes onto the dash in front, and he kind of corrects a picture of a man in a fighter jacket, a very pregnant woman, and a little kid that looks like a very young Buck sitting on a picnic picnic blanket, and he's just gonna, you know, I guess that scene would kind of like just fade out with him jingling the keys around his hands.
okay. Well, that's where I leave you all, I guess. You know, you all go back to your normal lives in the next week, and you still go to school. You still, you know, have the same. Every once in a while, there's a strange phenomenon, but now all of you know that if there's ever a time where you want on a Sunday, you can have all of the options right in front of you, and maybe sometimes that'll give you comfort that you're happy with the way that your life is right now. So, yeah. Okay. Thank you all for being so great. I definitely had more things planned. I swear there was going to be a thing for like the time stopper and the roller skates to actually have a whole thing, but I saw time getting close, so I didn't want to go over.
No, those
but,
are good little fun mysteries in their own, you know?
Yeah. But thank you all again. I hope it all clicked together and all that sort of stuff. If all of you want to go around one more time and say who you are and where we can find you, we can start. I don't know. I've done all the orders at this point. Let's go with Taylor. Let's go counterclockwise around where I am on stream.
Oh, beans. Hi everybody, I'm Taylor at _potato_ on the internet. You can find me playing games, running games, mostly over on High Shelf Collective, but then also over on 2000 Tales Role-Playing on YouTube, where I have Big Gay Dice Game, which is Masks on Tuesday, and for the month of February, a cyberpunk game that I'm running in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, in the Appalachians. So it's going to be very fun, very different take on cyberpunk. So come hang out and see what we get into there, as well as then on Sundays until it's done we have Midway Madness, which is a just spooky carnival setting, all lady crew. Lonnie's in that one, and that's kind of all I got going right now.
All right, and so we're gonna be, hey everybody, I am Turk or Turk Accented in the places where your mind wanders to when you're bored. And I was of course playing Buck. He has feelings, but chooses not to show them. They are optional. Anyway, if you want to see more of me and things I do, you can of course find me here tomorrow playing Nova with a very different character. A lot, it's gonna be wild, mech, cool future combat, fighting with the power of the sun, fun stuff. Then beyond that, start of February on the 2nd, I'll be over on Neon Lights, where I will be in Last Transmission, which is a death in space system. Some good spooky vibes to kick off your February. And a whole bunch of other stuff, including the return of Oathsworn, which if you're not familiar, it's kind of important to me. I'm a big fan. It's a Greek mythology and epic scale adventure mashed together in the best way. And if you haven't joined us before, it's a great time, as we kind of left it in the perfect recap spot. So, oats will be warm. Beyond that, next episode of Icon, and then I will be running Royal Blood here on the 9th. So we'll see who's in that cast coming up. Because if you haven't signed up already, you can still sign up, I think, to join us in the Discord. So, come hang out. You can be part of my game, where we're going to do a bunch of collaborative storytelling stuff and talk about stealing power from the major arcana tarot cards. But there's going to be so much cool stuff. And obviously everyone you see on your screen here is super talented. Also, especially a big shout out to Lonnie for first ever time facilitating a game. The Loop Master. You let us know when the next episode is going to be. Thank y'all. Keep being excellent people. Keep putting good out into the world, and I'll see you next time.
I guess that's
Jason?
me.
Yeah.
I'm JJ SYNN, JJ Sin, just about everywhere else. I'm Graphical Ronin, a freelance graphic designer and illustrator. I wrote my name down for just about everything for February, so hopefully I get one. But I will also probably be doing a Monster of the Week and a rotating system game of Brambleberry February at the beginning of Farch. So yeah, I hope to see people around. And, Lonnie, you did an amazing job for your first time. Actually, for your 7th or 8th or 9th time, to be honest with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And that leaves us with Dido.
I'm Dido at Dido11 on Twitter, and I also want to thank Lonnie because this was so much fun being able to play with all of these amazing people, and also because they won't say it, our art tonight was done by Taylor and Jason. I just want to throw that out there because they are both very talented. They're down there or something. But I will be running Good Strong Hands in February on the 20th. So that will be fun. It is very Never-Ending Story-esque, and I'm very excited about it. It was great playing with everybody, being able to play the smart, quirky girl with a crush. Pretty freaking awesome, and I'm glad Lonnie gave me that opportunity. Thank you.
All right. Well, and that leaves me. I am Lonnie or Looney Shaws, and I am very honored to have had such an amazing cast, because I was definitely worried that I was talking way too much and all the things. So just it's been an honor working with all of you. Thank you for letting me lead you through so many different things. I will not be DMing again for a while, at least that I know of, but I will be in Midway Madness with Taylor, which very excited about, especially if we're close to reaching Hecna. And I will be back here on the 31st for a game of Locust. So, yeah. Other than that, again, thank you everybody for watching. And let me see one second if there are any other things I need to say before I go for that sort of stuff. But okay. All right. Well, I guess that is all for us. Thank you all again. And we'll see you all next time. Thank you for stopping by Lost Caravan.